Trevor Henderson monsters. If you guys have been around the channel for a minute, you guys have probably watched at least one of the parts, okay? I've gone over everything from Siren Head, the forgotten baby, to Trevor Henderson has some issues. And I say that with love, because brother has created some of the greatest monsters I've seen on the internet in a minute that would rival some stuff that I would see in more mainstream stuff like Stephen King. I had a lot of fun with this series, okay? And I am gonna say I had a lot of fun because I think this is the best way to end it. I've made 4 parts for it, going over some of the good, some of the great, and some of the bad. And instead of milking you guys for views, for a 5th part going over, I was going to be real, some of the other monsters just aren't going to meet the criteria. I've decided to compile all 4 parts into one massive 2-hour and 30-minute video for your enjoyment, for you guys to watch this Sunday. I think that's when this video is going to come out. It'll be pretty awkward if it's like Monday, though. That'd be kind of funny. But I've decided to edit together all the videos, fix some of the editing mistakes that help the video flow a bit better, put it on in the background, fall asleep to my voice, or just catch up on some of the great creations that Trevor Henderson has made. And with all that out of the way, please consider a like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you think somebody would enjoy it. We're trying to get to 50k subs by the end of the year, and that's only possible due to you guys. We started this series when I was at 15,000 subscribers. Now, at the time of making this, I think 34,000 subscribers, which is more than I deserve. Thank you, guys. But with all that out of the way again, let's get into the definitive edition of the Trevor Henderson Monster tier list. Anxious dogs. Yeah, that's supposed to be a fucking dog. Physical description of the Anxious dog. Anxious dogs are grotesque, large, quadrupedal, white, translucent, and hairless skin. Instantly, I'm doing a hell no, okay? Like that alone, we're done. You don't have to go any further, but we're gonna be going. And they are seemingly possess no outer dermal layer, with tendon and muscular structures being visible. They have 3 fingers, each of which have 3 to 4 joints. They're emaciated... Brother. You end it right there, okay? So they're big flesh dogs with human teeth. Okay, I just want to bring this up. Anything that has human teeth, for whatever reason, when like an animal in nature has like human-like teeth, it's automatically weird for me. I'm more comfortable around like animals having like canine teeth than something having like human-like teeth. I don't know if it's like the uncanny valley of it all, but immediately when an animal has human-like teeth, like I saw a fish once, okay? I don't even know what it's called, but I saw it on Mountain Monsters, not Mountain Monsters. River Monsters, that great TV show. It was a large catfish-looking thing with human teeth. I immediately noped out of that. As a child, I knew that has no place being under the light of God. Anxious dogs' heads are oval-shaped with a wide mouth seemingly carved through the lower half of said head. Ugh. 46 human-like teeth on the top and 48 on the bottom. 2 depressants comparable to eye sockets are present just above the mouth and are possibly vestigial, along with slit-like openings. Okay. Design alone, this is gonna go pretty high. I don't know what it is about this photo, but, like, imagine waking up, okay, and you hear, like, banging around your house. But apparently these things are super stealthy along with all of that. And you go out of your room, and you see that fucking thing standing just right outside the hallway of your doorway. I'm not claustrophobic. I covered that in the phobia tier list. But I don't like the idea of I either have the ability to run at something or run away from something when I'm in, like, a hallway like this, because it's probably going to catch me, and I'm trying not to get turned into fucking lunch meat. So, anxious dogs, off appearance alone, we're good. Let's go over behavior. Now, not all of them have a behavior, because admittedly the lore on some of these isn't quite up to date. However, anxious dogs have this. So let's go over the behavior. Maybe they're easy to kill. Maybe they're friendly. Yeah, they ain't friendly, dog. Anxious dogs are intelligent, generally hostile predators. They are repeatedly described as being tough, fast, and stealthy, even for their size. While not as common as other invasive species in Mayfair, they pose a threat to the general public due to them being territorial, typically responding aggressively to intrusions. Not unlike a wild animal. It is mentioned that they attract to urban areas and then they scavenge and hunt for pets and smaller animals. Imagine walking your dog out, and then you hear a little, yeah! And then you see this fucking thing eating your dog. Like, listen, man. In this scenario, there's only two logical ways to fight this off, okay? Let me give you the two. There is the, may Lord rebuke thee, and like that's it. Those are the only two logical ways to answer this threat. And I'm thinking number two is probably going to be the most effective. You would be surprised how effective that could be. Although this might result in a supernatural perception or manipulation aura, it is not uncommon for anxious dogs to be mistaken for large dogs or deer due to their shape and bullshit. You ain't mistaking this as a fucking dog, bro. You ain't mistaking that as a deer. I'm sorry, immediately calling cap, okay? This thing is a no. Absolutely hell's no. If I saw this from a distance, I automatically am noping out of it. Where am I ranking this? Where am I going to rank this? Okay. Anxious dogs. Design, S tier. I love the design. I also like the fact that they're more of like an animal and less of like a supernatural presence, which... here's the thing. I like the supernatural stuff, but there's something that's just so unnerving of it just having a place in our natural ecosystem. But they're so evasive that they aren't aware to fear people. Like, I've said this multiple times, bro. We would get overrun by animals the moment they realized that they could take us. Your average raccoon could give you a good fight. A cougar is taking you out in a few swipes. Anxious dogs, I'm gonna put him A tier. Cause it's not quite the best that he's ever created, but I already am putting him in A tier, okay? Like, there's very few misses in Trevor Henderson, and there's a lot of bangers, so I have to rank these pretty tough. Anxious dogs, A tier. I think that's perfectly valid. Bridge worms. Let's take a picture. Holy, bro. No. Okay, let's get the lore on bridge worms. Okay, they look kind of happy. Let's see how happy these are. Let's go over to the description of the bridge worm. The bridge worm is a worm-like entity that is known to be hiding under long interstate highway bridges. Hence the name. You see, I was trying to find a phobia for the tier list that is a fear of driving to new areas, okay? I hate driving. I don't know what it is about me. I don't know if it's like some weird, like weird tick. But, like, I hate driving to new places. So, you automatically are getting a bump at there being a creature that hunts you as you're driving. Fuck that. Absolutely no. It has been found hide under small bridges, supposedly using a safe house tactic to travel lengthy distances without being... Is this thing hiding in a safe house? Dog, this is a bridge-sized slug. Absolutely not, bro. Like, imagine you're just driving and you're over here just minding your own business and then you see a warehouse-size fucking super predator slug that just looks like a demonic Pillsbury Doughboy. Absolutely not, bro. Okay? The car is a safe space and I'm not feeling safe right about now. Okay? That's my initial feelings on this. Okay? Where were they? I'm sorry, I gotta stop interrupting. The creature's arms are long at a recorded distance of 9 feet. It has bone-like fingers similar to humans, but it is far more flexible. It has 2 sets, one in the back. Oh, it has, like, hand feet. Okay. I don't like monkeys, okay? I don't like chimpanzees. Let me just let that be said. I'm not saying that we should get rid of all of them. All I'm saying is keep them away from me. And I'll be real with you. Hand feet fuck with me. It's weird. I don't like it. I don't like the idea that if we were to get into a fist fight, you got 4 hands, I got 2. Imagine throwing down with a chimpanzee and he does a handstand to a Superman punch to knock you unconscious, and then he proceeds to rip off your fucking face. Yeah, I don't like hand feet at all. That is, it's weird to me. It uses a flap of flesh to trick prey, which has a fake face that is small, black, with tiny slits for its eyes, and a small but neutral facial expression, mouth, which makes it approachable. So this is the safe version. Brother, that is not approachable. Like at all. Okay, if I saw this at a distance at late at night, dude, okay, maybe this makes me a bad person, bro. Sometimes, okay? Sometimes homeless people scare me. Sometimes they do. Because, I don't know. Like, the thought of getting ambushed by a homeless guy is also kind of scary to me because there's more of you than there are of me, okay? Like, automatically, bro. Imagine fighting off your nearest homeless guy and they stab you with a heroin needle. And boom, you're tripping balls all the way to the hospital. That's a no from me. And boom, now you have HPV. Okay, like, that's, again, multiple notes. And, like, I ain't interacting with this. If I see this on the side of the road, I'm like, yeah, nah. I'd rather get a speeding ticket than go buy that thing. But let's see if it gets worse. Underneath the flap, it reveals a horrific grin with his face with 36 human-like teeth. Oh, no. I know where we're going with this. He knows. Trevor knows I'm scared of human-like teeth, okay? He might have a similar fear to me, like that uncanny valley. And all of these things are going to have human-like teeth. If that is the case, you are going to see me with a lot of goosebumps because I do not like that at all. No, mi amigo. We ain't doing that. Ooh, 36. That's a bad number, too. The nose is similar to a human's underneath the skin, proving the fact that the flap is its skin. The tissue of the bridgeworm's real face is a cellular near identical to but it has some flaws. The eyes of the bridgeworm are extremely misaligned and disorienting as they bounce around while running. Like a Looney Tunes character, but more grotesque. Usually the fake flap peels back like an eyelid. Trevor, it's creations like this that I start questioning, brother. What happened to you? Okay, did you, like, lose a leg? And then that body horror that occurred to you? Like, this is basically body horror Shakespeare right here. I'm digging it, but I'm also hating it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? The fake flap peels back like an eyelid when chasing someone. It is also semi-translucent, which is the reason they can see from it. Bridgeworms are also instinctively hunt at night inside tunnels or bridges. No. Okay. The adult form they are thought to become highway worms through they do lack several features such as limbs and a similar face. Do these things have any abilities? Trivia? No. Okay, thank goodness, bro. Dog. Here's the thing. Does it have the aura of the Anxus dog? This thing's more terrifying. I'm actually gonna put this one in S tier. That's such a hell no creation. That's an S tier. That is actually really, hand feet. It's a worm type of creature that has like a uncanny valley looking face. I already know I'm in for a world of hurt with the next few, but I'm gonna put this in S tier. I'm confident in that placement. I don't think there's gonna be anything that's gonna beat it. The Fetid King. I'm sorry if I say that wrong. This one is a little bit interesting. I'm gonna keep an open mind, but there's a few things about this that I'm 50-50 on. You're going to understand in a second. The appearance of the Fetid King depicts a thin human skeleton with a large spinal column with 17 ribs in total, which is much less than the average human. Its face has a haunting expression with its mouth agape, and strangely enough, its open eyelids made of skull bone. Okay, I'm keeping an open mind, but I'm already... Okay, design for design. This one ain't getting in the S tier, boys. I don't even think this one might get in the A tier. Like, I have to be a tough critic because of how many bangers this man has. And the design, I'm like, it feels like Master of the Universe. That He-Man Master of the Universe, that's the vibe that I'm getting from this, but like a scarier. But maybe he can win me over. The king also has a few thin strands of hair, which are unusual for a skeleton, since the hair is attached to the skin. He also appears to wear a wooden crown that ends in uneven spikes. Okay. Hence the name Fetid King. Okay. Behavior and infection process. Okay. Now, if you haven't noticed, I'm reading these for the first time because I want there to be a genuine reaction here, and I don't want these to cook in my mind because it won't be fair to the other creatures. So, infection process. Let me just say this. I think that this is going to work as some type of, like, incognito hazard where the more you know about it, the more it's going to manifest in your day-to-day life. Almost like a Lovecraftian horror. Now, they can go, like, that route, and it manifests further the more you interact with it. But you feel compulsed to interact with it. Let's see. The Fetid King acts as some sort of computer virus. I don't like that. That's cheesy. I don't like that. I don't like any creature that has to use the big internet to infect you, because at the end of the day, I think how you deal with a computer virus haunting is the same way you deal with cyberbullying. Close the fucking computer, Karen. Nobody cares. Just close it, please. He makes his way through the digital realm, looking at a suitable device to infect and manifest room. Once he manages to infect the device, it is already too late, as he will slowly destroy it from the inside and eventually manifest into the physical realm. So far, there is no known way to prevent or remove him from an infected device without destroying it entirely. Then destroy the fucking phone, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, nah, this isn't even... I really dislike horror that has to use, like, a computer or an iPhone, or in some cases, like, an old PS3 to manifest, because it's just dumb. Like, it's scary when you're a kid, but at the same, like, as an adult, I'm just gonna break my phone and go buy a new one. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not that pressed. Like, I'll be like, oh, okay, oh, there's a demon in my phone. Again, oh, well, you can't hurt him. Okay, well, he needs my phone to manifest, so whatever, bro. The first thing the Fetid King did was, is when he accesses the computer, is to corrupt the device by making multiple versions of a picture, titled King Birth. Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear him out. Which is an eerie photo of the king. When the file is in reverse image search on the internet, you will met with an ominous message like the image guesser suggesting that the image is called The Fetid King is Coming. Ooh, okay. Okay, so we're going more into like a digital Lovecraftian horror. I dig it. I'm hearing them out. After a while, the files gets worse, applying a chromatic aberration effect to the ever-multiplying pictures. Eventually, a picture where the Fetid King is looking directly at the camera. After a while, the infected device will get an error message which shows the words, "All who dare profane the Fetid King shall take his place," multiple times. Oh, you're starting to lose me a little bit. And some other words like "he is coming now" and "he will be here soon," having chance of appearing. The latter can also come via converting the image into a text file. Okay, I like the idea that it slowly roots its way through your device. That's kind of cool. Eventually, he will kill his victim after some time of destroying the computer. Wait. Okay, okay. If I destroy it, will it kill me? Eventually, he will kill his victim after some time of destroying the computer. It is unknown whenever this actually occurs, but it is implied to be not too long after the device gets infected. What else is also not known is if the Fetid King kills either by exiting the device or attacking the person directly, or use the device itself to somehow kill. Yo, imagine if it has to use the computer to kill you, and it's just a bunch of people. Like, imagine answering a phone call from your mom, but he hacks the device to make you think it's your mom, and then your new iPhone 15 Pro Max just blows up in your hand, and boom, you're dead. Like, that's more funny than scary. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. This one's not hidden, bro. It's just not. I'm not digging this. The Fetid King, just because of how many bangers there are, I'm gonna put this one in D tier. It just doesn't hit, dude. I don't like computer horror because it's dumb. I understand trying to take your own stab at it, because the fact is this is probably better than a lot of analog horror that I've seen, where like Sonic, EXE, Evil Mario, Slenderman, and Sonic. I've seen a lot, and this one does it better because they take, like, the knowledge, like, the incognito hazard of it. It's still computer horror, and computer horror is just dumb, because at the end of the day, it hinges on the victim not destroying their phone. I'm sorry, the moment my phone starts acting too slow, I'm automatically considering replacing it. I am not connected to any of my devices to the point that I would risk like any type of hazard to myself. And before you say, well, they don't know, I'm sorry, bro. The moment my phone starts telling me that the Fetid King is coming for me, he's coming soon, I'm assuming that you're trying to blackmail me into paying you money, and I'm immediately throwing away my phone and changing my number. That's dumb. It just is. I'm sorry, Trevor, you make a lot of great stuff. I'm not a fan of that D tier. It is probably the worst work I've seen thus far, but I think this one's probably going to be the worst one. I think you hit a stride. The Angel. Phew. Okay, looking at the picture, I'm already digging it. Okay, little prediction. What I think it is it's his take on biblically accurate angels and the way that angels in the Bible have to say, be not afraid. I've said this multiple times. You can use biblically accurate angels as like a form of like a Christian Lovecraftian horror. The thought that even the good guys are so terrifying to represent in your mind that they actively have to tell you to be not afraid or change their form is such a cool idea that it leaves so much stuff ambiguous that I dig it. So that's my prediction. Let's go over it. The appearance. The angel portrays a skeletal human-like form. The head resembles a human skull, with all of its separate parts molded together into a singular rounded shape with a crack down the middle, starting from the top of the head and ending at the nostrils. Its face is completely empty, hollow holes replacing its eyes, nose, and mouth. Okay. Maybe it's like the husk of a dead angel that is being puppeted by some other force in like the universe of Trevor Henderson. I like that because like there is some thoughts and there is some stuff to back this up that like a demon can take the form of a holy being. Like I think the most famous one is that like the devil can take the form of the angel of light, and maybe this is his approach to that. Maybe that is. I would really dig that if that was the case. While its singular ear is also made of a bony flesh and located much lower than it should be, the creature's chest region is calcified mess of flesh and bone, almost forming a ribcage of interconnected veins of bony flesh. Ooh, I like that. I like that imagery that invokes, like almost like it's been dead for so long that now it's just corrupting its form that it shows us. On the side of its torso, it also appears to be somewhat fleshy, secondary ribcage that is always seen inverted, spread out and distorted a way of enables to break apart and grab onto walls like arms. Ooh, okay. So now we're taking the necromorph like level of it can it can change its appearance in order to do what it needs to. Ribs. Oh, it's using its secondary ribs as like a spider climbing up a wall. That's kind of dope. I dig. Already, this is better than the Fetid King. Just don't ruin it with computer viruses, and we'll be good. Where was I? The secondary rib spreads into tentacle-like ways, somewhat resembling roots of branches of a plant. Okay. Its spinal cord is disproportionately large compared to the rest of its body, and the lower half of its body consists of a pelvis and legs, thin and human-like, a bit very bony. It is most likely called an angel due to the fact that its secondary ribcage looks almost like wings of an angel. Okay. So maybe it's just not an angel. Like I think we're already stretching the definition thus far. However, it has the ability to change its appearance. The angel's appearance also differs between the three images provided by Trevor. Its wings, torso, and head are constantly changing shape. In the first image, its chest is very large, almost bulging out towards the right side of its body, while the second image shows it's much thinner. The patron saint image shows its relatively normal size when looking at its head. Throughout the images, the second paragraph stands out. Its head is much taller and oval shaped, and the creature seems to be smiling. Okay. So it has the ability to change forms. Okay, but I need a little bit more. Behavior and theories. Let's see what we got here. There's not much that can be said about the angel here, as there is very little lore given regarding this peculiar creature. One of the few pieces of lore, however, is captions of the image which appears to be quoting someone who had an encounter with the angel. The caption of the first image states, when the angel came back, suggesting that who is currently photographing it, the angel has encountered it before. In recent images, the capture quotes that we assume the same person from the previous is saying, the angel gave me a sign. Okay. So maybe we're going, like, again, like, I hate to keep bringing this up, like, an incognito Lovecraftian horror element of it's, like, trying to invoke, like, that, I'm sorry, bro. This is not inviting. I'm, like, if I see this, I'm instantly flipping out. I'm not going to hear you out, bro. The moment I see you, listen, again, there are two ways to address this issue, and they go a little something like, may the Lord protect me and rebuke thee, to, like, that's it. Those are the only two logical ways to deal with this. Okay. Now, where is it going to rank with the rest of them? The design is amazing. The thought that it uses its ribs as a way of climbing like a spider. I dig that. The body horror element of it. However, it's not quite Anxious Dog, and the lack of lore is going to hurt it compared to Anxious Dog and the, whatever that thing's terrifying. Bridgeworms, bro. I'm going to put this in B tier. I think B tier is perfectly valid for this placement just because I need a little bit more. I need, like, more abilities, more, like, stories behind it, and then we can talk. But as of right now, I can't. The God of Roadkill. Okay, I am in for a treat with this one. Biography. On May 20th, 2019, Trevor Henderson introduced to the world to mysterious, awe-inspiring deity known as the God of Roadkill. The enigmatic being made of his grand debut on the internet. Actually, I need the appearance. I'm sorry. I need the appearance of this thing. The God of Roadkill is believed to be at least as large as a van. Okay, so size elements, we're already doing pretty good, if not bigger, and possesses numerous supernatural characteristics. Its head takes the shape of a bird, featuring a lengthy, slender beak that tapers to a needle-like point. Positioned on the upper part of its head are 4 eyes, all of which appear to be crudely drawn instead of flesh. Ooh, I like that. The idea that this is like an old god that existed before, like, the Europeans came over, and that it was worshipped by the natives, and that it doesn't like what we've done, and, like, the animals that have died that we've taken out, basically just inconsequentially, and then it's an old god that is angered by our negligence of taking care of the land that we took over. Okay. I kind of like that. However, I don't like the supernatural aspect of it. You're going to have to do something with that. I need to see a little bit more. Personality. The God of Roadkill is depicted as a deity filled with intense fury and sorrow towards the drivers who unintentionally harm animals on the road. I just predicted that. We're thinking the same, Trevor. Although the exact reasons behind its anger and sadness remain unknown, it is an old god from Native American folklore. That's my bet right now. Trevor Henderson provides some insight into the enigmatic entity. From the available information, it seems that the God of Roadkill possesses a compassionate nature. It is old Mother Nature, I'm telling you, aiding deceasing animals into the journey to the afterlife. Dude, I predict these things. Call me Mystic Mac, baby. Much like the mythical being of Sauron and the Grim Reaper, it is highly probable that the God of Roadkill's profound sadness wrath stem from the countless animal fatalities caused by vehicular accidents with subsequential... Rip my reading ability. With subsequently triggers its desire to seek retribution by causing those responsible for the harm to lose control of their vehicles and crash. Okay, that's... So it has, like, an omnipotent way of making you cry. Like, I'm sorry. This reminds me of, like, those people that visited Ed and Lorraine Warren, and they were talking shit to Annabelle, and then they were driving back, and then the boyfriend got into an accident, and then they said, oh, it was Annabelle that caused them to get into an accident. No, it's because you were going 70 miles per hour on a motorcycle during a rainstorm. Like, I don't think Annabelle killed the motorcyclist. No, I think the motorcyclist drove during a rainstorm. And you somehow survived. Why wouldn't you get done, lady? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's insensitive. It's been 10 years, but that's how I feel on that. I don't know. Like, you could have done something a bit cooler than that. Like, maybe. right? It has an ability of, like, effing with your vehicle, causing it to lose power, causing the vehicle to break down a mile away from when you killed an animal. And then, at that point, it has, like, this abducting ritual where it grabs you out of your vehicle and causes you to either die in a similar way, or you have to sacrifice yourself to it, or sacrifice somebody in the car to it. Like, that would be a cool way of, like, invoking, like, there was an ancient ritual to appease this creature in the Native American days, but this is its modern incarnation where we kill an animal and we've started a ritual and it wants blood for blood. You could do something like that. The idea that, oh, it just makes your car crash. Cool. Okay, I'm being a bit too harsh of a critic. The design invokes that it was an old god that was forgotten a long time ago, and that the design is better than the Fetid King. However, I think you could have done more with the way that it kills you. I don't like the idea that it's just this omnipotent, it takes control of your car and it causes it to crash. I think you could do a little bit more with it. And the reason I'm being, again, this harsh of a critic is you've done more with other creatures. So I'm going to put this one in C tier, probably high C tier. I might move it up later. But the angel is a bit cooler of a design, and there's more up to go. I do like the idea that it was an old god that was forgotten, and it was out for blood at this point. That's what's in favor of it. And finally, the most well-known Trevor Henderson creature, and the best way to end this part, Siren Head. Listen, you guys already know where this is going, but I just want to read you a little bit of it. Easily the most popular one. It was made popular by YouTubers Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. It is described as a nearly 50-foot tall fleshy creature with like metal wires interweaved to it, with a head that looks like a siren. That it talks through and has the ability to mimic any sound that it's ever heard. You are Bar the Woods and you hear your kids laughing and you're going to go into the woods to come see them. Oh, that's weird. Why is my two children at the house in the opposite direction from the sound? I love when a creature can mimic sounds that is heard. Okay? I think it is one of like a gift from the Big G himself. He didn't make more predators, give them the ability to mimic the sounds of children. And he just gave it to parrots. Could you imagine, dude, if cougars had the ability to mimic human speech to the point that they could mimic exactly what we've said? That would be awful. The thought that Siren Head is so massive that it has to hide in these forests. And it has like an almost, like vaguely, like mechanical look to it. Human-like teeth. I dig it. I really like this creature. It's the most well-known of all the Trevor Henderson creatures, and it's probably the best way to end this video off. And I really like it. I really do. If you want me to do a deep dive into the lore of Siren Head, because it's the most well-known, it has the most lore equated to it, and I wouldn't be able to do it justice in this video alone. But I really like Siren Head as a creature, and it's gonna go in S tier. I think it is the best creature he's ever created in terms of all the abilities, all the lore behind it. Bridgeworms are a close second, and third is going to be Anxious Dogs. And Longhorse. Yup. This one's one of the big three. You see, in the big three of the Trevor Henderson verse, there's Siren Head, which I think everybody knows about, the Cartoon Cat, and Longhorse. I have no clue what Longhorse is, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be pretty hyped because this thing looks terrifying. Just like initial thoughts going into this, horse skulls are very scary looking. Like, there's a few animals that just, like, have really, like, there's a few things that have a really scary skeleton, but they're, like, really chill animals. Horses are one of them. Yeah, nah, horses have a terrifying skull. That's all I'm going to say, man. And I'm really digging this. Let's get into the appearance, description, behavior, all of it. Longhorse appears to be a creature with a horse-like skull that lacks a jaw, connected to seemingly an inexhaustible neck. A few strands of black hair are separately attached to its continuous body. Continuous body, in quotation marks, is vile, bro. Ooh, okay. I'm thinking it's like a serpent with a horse skull as a head, almost wearing it like a hood ornament. Let's get it. Which is apparently like that of elastic. Ugh. It also creates cracking noises when bending its neck. Let me tell you something, man. If you want to instantly make your creature a little bit more unnerving, like this is to any like aspiring artist, aspiring like director, because I actually have a few people that like want to make like short films about stuff like this. Add cracking sounds. Like there's just something that is like uncanny about when something is moving and it's so unnatural that it just starts cracking when it moves. Like it's just a... It also creates cracking noise when bending its neck, similar to a human finger. So, like, okay. That's pretty good. I'm glad I could do that, otherwise that would have been kind of embarrassing. Which allows it to create as few or as many joints as deemed possible. Interestingly, Longhorse is well known for its smell like cinnamon. Cinnamon is a very overrated flavor. I'm just going to say that right now. If you like cinnamon, it's because you had a cinnamon roll, which is also flavored with brown sugar, normal sugar, vanilla glaze, and caramel. So yeah, cinnamon's overrated. I'm sorry that this is very out of the way, but cinnamon's very overrated, and I think I would probably vomit smelling that for too long. Maybe that's just me. Longhorse was established as a legend when a picture of a creature started spreading over the internet on the 24th of August 2018. An older boy. I was 16 at the time of that. When a user named Trevor Henderson published a picture showing Longhorse with a description that the user had a dream of a horse beforehand. Okay, so we're dealing with like a omnipotent or like a psychic being. I dig it. The design is carrying, though. I'm gonna be real. I need to get a little bit more before I appreciate. Further on, another picture has been released of a creature by Trevor. When it appears to be in the suburbs and is named the creature Longhorse, an ancient cave painting has also been found of the Longhorse around these three humans. And in the description, it is revealed that the Longhorse has been around since ancient times. If you guys haven't seen part 1, he had a similar creature called the God of Roadkill. And I believe, and it's pretty almost confirmed, that the God of Roadkill was actually a god-level entity that was worshipped by the Native Americans. I think Longhorse is supposed to be some type of offsuit. Maybe it's his interpretation of like a skinwalker, Wendigo, like something like that. I'd be really interesting. Native Americans have a goated mythology. Dude, like, if you think Greek mythology is crazy, bro, Native American mythology is insane, dude. Interestingly enough, the ancient drawing depicts the Longhorse is the human's protectors. Let him cook. He is purely harmless, and his goal is to warn humans of upcoming dangers. If a human hears a neck crack or sees the long neck of a creature, the message is that a disaster will occur. Not because of Longhorse, but because of what will happen later on. He made Mothman. Dog, he made a version of Mothman that is just infinitely more scary looking. Okay? That's tough. I'm not a fan of, like... I'm not a fan of that. Okay, like, I don't like the creature being, like, your little buddy, but mysteriously really isn't all that helpful. Like, let me ask you a question. Would you want to be warned of something that really bad is about to happen to you if there's nothing you can do to stop it? Like, if I went up to in your day-to-day life and said, hey, you're gonna get into a car accident and die, and you ask me, oh, is there anything I can do to get out of it? You would say, no. I feel like the terror that you would suffer up to that point would actually be worse than just dying out of the blue. That's just me. Like, I think it goes into the question, would you want to know how you died, or would you want to know when you died? I think I would rather know when, because if it said, oh, you're going to die in a car accident, then, bro, I would be terrified for the rest of my life getting into a car. I don't know. Sorry I'm not having this tangent, but that's why I'm not a fan of that. Personality. Despite its scary appearance, Longhorse is quite friendly and seems to have a curious nature, but it is unknown how it displays this curiosity. It is considered as the protector of humans and warns them of the future disasters. According to Trevor, Longhorse also enjoys treats such as apples and love and affection. He's just a good boy. I think that, yeah. You know what? I want to put him in A. He's just a good boy, okay? He's better than Anxious Dog, okay? I mean, there's more lore behind Anxious Dog. Well, okay, the last little bit that he likes treats, apples, and likes a good pet, he's just a good boy. Yeah, I think A tier is actually really valid. It saved it in the very end, and it's better than the Angel. It is. Watch part 1 to figure out what my beef was with the Angel. The Highway Worm. Holy shit, that's terrifying. Dude. Okay. The Highway Worm was name dropped in part 1, where it said that bridge worms could turn into highway worms. And bridge worms are terrifying, and I put them in S tier because I think they are the scariest creature. Highway worms look less scary, but, dude, dog, that's terrifying. I also hate driving, so a creature that attacks you while you're driving, I think that's just a little bit more scary. The highway worm, also known as the leather worm, human worm, or giant worm, is one of Trevor Henderson's creatures. The species origin is unknown, but is thought to be an unprecedented mutation of some sort of large worm species. I mean, like, if you're trying to figure out, like, I think that's one of the tough part about creating a monster, is you have to come up with some type of origin for the monster, unless the mystery is a part of the appeal. Like, if you're watching a movie and they tell you that the monster is a demon, you already have a rough idea of the origin of that creature and its place in this world's mythology. When you're creating your own creature, you either have to play into the mystery but have like secret rules that you understand, or you have to come up with an origin, and I understand where Trevor Henderson's going with this. But mutated from a large worm species, what fucking worm turns that big? But, you know, I'm nitpicky, I'm sorry. Appearance. The highway worm is a large worm-like creature with glowing yellow eyes, human-like mouth, and its body is like that of a worm, but heavily uneven, and for lack of a better word, bumpy. Okay. Its skin is a shade of gray and dull yellow and appears to be leathery. Its back ends is like a snake. Let me tell you something, man. This is going to sound really out of pocket, but I'm just going to say it. People that sunbathe too much and their skin just becomes leather, they fucking scare me, bro. Like, somebody needs to tell old people that there's a certain amount of time that you can spend in light, because once your skin just becomes leather, I don't even want to touch you. Okay, get out of here. Okay, you two, get out of here. Leatherback. I'm sorry to all the old people that are catching strays in this video. The highway worm is around 65 feet long. No. The creature itself is theorized to be mainly nocturnal and is only seen between dusk and early dawn. And that's fucked up because most of the time I actually drive after the hours of 6 and before the hours of 7. So I'm like prime, I'm like lunch meat to this thing. So, okay, I feel attacked right now. Behavior! Now, this is going to be the saving grace. This is either going to push it to an A tier, or it's going to keep it at a B tier as of right now. The design is good. I need a little bit more, and bridge worms admittedly were a lot scarier, and that got into an S. So right now, A or B. Behavior is the what's going to save it. The highway worm is a solitary creature and often found hiding curled up in places close to highways. For example, behind bushes, signs, etc. It is what type of fucking bush is hiding that? I'm sorry, bro. What? It is also reported that only have attacked lone drivers. It attacks by ambushing a car from behind its hiding spot, usually breaking the windows or flipping the car over, and quickly grabbing the driver with its mouth. Just the thought you're driving home and you're like, fuck, man, it was a long day at the office. Yo, what's that? Alaskan wild worm. I think that's the name from SpongeBob. Oh, no, that's what it is. That's what was reminding me of. I'm sorry, bro. You're staying at B. I'll finish reading you. And quickly grabbing the driver with its mouth before slithering back to its hiding spot, which happens to the victim afterwards is unknown. It fucking eats them. What? Yeah. What? Of course they get eaten. What else are you assuming? B. This is B. The design is cooler than the God of Roadkill, but Angel's a bit better of a design, and the mysterious element of the Angel carries it to high B. But that, yeah. Highway worm B tier, bridge worms S tier. I mean, I make the rules, but at the same time, I need a little bit more out of you. You can't just be the worm from SpongeBob and acting all slick. And yeah, you ain't hiding in bushes. That's bullshit. Country Road Creature. And that is how you do it, bro. I got goosebumps just from looking at that. I take the back roads a lot just because we live out in the country. Don't get me wrong, okay? There is a few Native American creatures, and I bring them into this a lot because, like, I hear a lot about those, that, like, I would really hope, like, I really hope they are super wrong about certain types of them. And I feel like Trevor Henderson takes inspiration from Native American folktales and turns them into really cool and unnerving entities. That's what I'm going into the Country Road Creature with. The design has already secured it a B tier slot. I love the design. I love the uncanny look of it. Elongated limbs, uncanny valley. I dig it. Now, this is where the lore is going to carry. We're at B tier. We can go up to S. I'm open to that. The Country Road Creature, created by Trevor Henderson. The creature's predatory instincts and hunting manners make it an ominous and unnerving entity and a powerful force. Woo! Okay. So now we're dealing with a predatory entity and not the worm from SpongeBob. Okay, I think it's safe to say this could be a winner. The Country Road Creature appears as an emaciated, bald, pale-skinned, quadrupedal, Alden, grotesque-looking humanoid whose entire body is grossly disproportionate compared to normal humans, standing at an estimate of at least 20 feet tall. Wait. Dude. 20 feet tall, man. That's like scary big, okay? Like, that goes beyond the point of, like, now we're to the point that like, how we deal with this threat is 12 gauges of blessings, okay? We're putting the hands together, we're preparing ourselves for this battle, and we're whipping out that is our point in attacking this thing. At this point, I'm digging it. Its arms and legs are far more slender and longer than normal, stretching more than twice as long as its torso and ending in large hands and feet with long, bony digits. Its feet appear to possess opposable toes similar to an ape. Dude, this guy, okay? I hate monkey feet. I really do, okay? And to the people that are asking for the animal tier list based off how much I think they deserve extinction, I'm just going to say it right now. I don't think monkeys deserve extinction. To stay away from me. Like, I think of chimps the same way I think of tigers. I don't understand people that want them as a pet, because those things are terrifying to me. If you got hand feet, stay the hell away from me. That is how I view it. So, this thing has hand feet. Okay, now we're going up to A tier. Hand feet, scary looking, predatory animal. Now it's AS. That's how we're going up. Whew. The creature is also multi-jointed and bending toward its knees. Also has dog legs. Ooh. I think dog legs are like the crocs of the animal kingdom. They could just go into sports mode whenever they want to run a little bit too fast. Yup. Elbow, spine, neck, or any other joint. Part limb of muscle at seemingly impossible angles with ease, allowing it to run about all four as well as climb up walls and crawl through small paces with ease. Okay. The creature's head is surprisingly mundane compared to the rest of its body, appearing as a gaunt, somewhat expressionless elderly man's visage with no hair and gleaming white eyes. Okay. I also am not a fan of old people. Okay? There's a lot of reasons why I'm not a fan of old people, but sometimes they're scary looking. I think, like, I have a dog that really doesn't like old people, and we make a joke that she has the ability to smell death. And if you think about it, what group of people has death attached to them more than old people? They are practically creeping up on that finish line. And I know I'm going to be old, but I don't like interacting with people, so I think I'll be like a grouchy old man that looks scary from a distance. And I've made peace with that portion of my life. However, elderly people scare me sometimes. So elderly people, face kind of scares me. Not leathery skin. Sometimes that does. Monkey feet, predatory, and it has dog knees. Okay? Behavior. Now this is what brings it up to an S, if it makes it. The country crow creature is a sentient and violent predator with many efficient hunting tactics in hand. Its size would be able to easily overpower humans, not me though, I'm built different, and other prey to eventually kill and devour them. It is a skilled and intelligent predatory monster. Its hunting tactics are effective as one would peacefully driving on an isolated road only to meet the creature, which could easily overpower them due to its insane speed, agility, and ability to contort. Come on, guys. Its joints and bend them. This makes it nigh impossible to restrain force, as it would be capable of overpowering and murdering the strongest humans in a brief moment with ease. On further examination of other photos made by Trevor, one photo in particular showed that it could be the same creature disguised as a human. Oh, no. Okay, so now it's trying to mimic people. Okay. This is further evidenced by the pale hand with sharp and bony digits at the end of the humanoid's hand. Oh, so it's like a shape-shifting creature, but like it doesn't know our proportions, so it fucks it up, but it slowly Dude, imagine a human hand, but there's like knives that come out the tip, and it's just sharp bone because it can't fit itself in the human form. I don't like that. I do not like that, dude. At the end of humanoid's hands, some speculate this creature can shapeshift and use its ability as a hunting tactic in isolated roads by morphing it into a human and acting as if it was a person. I don't like hitchhikers. I don't, bro. You're another group of people that scare me. And if someone were to make the grave mistake of giving them a ride, some speculate from a similar pixel, it will try to lead you out of the car by saying it wants to sell you something. Okay, I'm sorry. If you're a hitchhiker, I don't care even if you're hot. Okay, let's imagine Sydney Sweeney's on the side of the road, boys. Okay, this is a test for your survival. And she comes up, and she's like, roll down the window. And then you roll it down, and you're like, yo, what's up? And she says something along the lines of, hey, you want to go see something in these bushes? I'm immediately driving off. Fuck that. No, I'm good. No. Let me tell you something. Like some life advice. If something seems too good to be true, they're either stupid, trying to scam you, or trying to kill you. That's to say this. If something seems like a scam, it probably is, unless they're stupid. That's all I'm saying. And are you going to take advantage of a stupid person? No. And in this scenario, not very applicable, but don't. Okay? I would say no, personally. By saying to wants to... What the fuck is that? By saying to wants to sell you something, and if you follow him, he will probably turn back and it's true right in front of you and devour you. Okay. Well, that's terrifying. Now, I'm sorry, I gotta put it in S, dude. That is fucking terrifying, man. S tier. I gotta do it. Backroad creature. It's terrifying like the bridge worm. It's an isolated hunter. It tries to mimic people. Good predator scheme. I really dig it. Now, things that it could work on, give it a mimicking ability, and we're it. Imagine driving out, and then you hear some, like, you hear nothing but, like, a human speaking in the distance, and then boom, you're done. Okay? Let me tell you a story real quick. We have some distant relatives, okay? They live near Appalachia. These were not religious people. And then they lived there, and then they became super religious. And then we found out later that they were hearing voices in the fucking woods. And then we have a joke. Everybody isn't religious until the woods started speaking. And then all of a sudden everybody becomes devout. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, this real quick is gonna make people devout to something. Like that. The Watchtower. That is a good design. I dig that. Okay. Now, this is going to have some proving to do. It is a massive entity. And I have a problem with massive entities because unless you're going to go the Lovecraftian route with it, it kind of just gets dumb really quick. Like, I'm sorry, the American Air Force would have shot this puppy down with napalm immediately. The Watchtower is a gigantic creature made by the artist Trevor Henderson. Her peaceful... Oh, so it's a girl monster. And protective personality makes it a stark contrast between her and many disturbing creatures in the Trevor's catalog. There has been multiple theories on what her true nature and origins are, but most likely answers that she lives in the same universe among the giants and is actually an enemy of them. Should I do a read of some of the Trevor Henderson stories? I don't know. If you guys enjoy this enough, I can do a read through of some Trevor Henderson stories, and then yeah, no, we could do that. The Watchtower depicts a massive quadrupedal entity peacefully watching over a small town. Ain't nobody living in that small town, bro. I'm sorry. If I wake up and see this shit, I'm done. I don't care if it's a massive, oh, she's a girl monster. I'm gone. Like, I'm gone, bro. Like, rent can't be that cheap. It really can't. Her entire body is covered in many thick gray hairs, or possibly fur, akin to one seen in a mushroom crab. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about that, dude. There are some animals that I think just shouldn't grow fur, okay? Fish shouldn't grow fur. Crabs shouldn't grow fur. Lizards shouldn't grow fur. Like, they just shouldn't be growing fur. And crab fur sounds ungodly. She possesses 4 long legs that bend at the knees, that the hind legs bending backwards, okay, so dog legs, and 4 legs bending forwards. Okay, so dog build. The legs end in what seems as hooves. These legs are similar to those of an elephant. I don't know on this one. Her head is somewhat bean-shaped and is also covered in fur, obscuring some of her facial features. On the very top of her head, there are 4 pointy antlers protruding in the top of it. 2 front ones at the side of its head, and 2 more going down from its head to its neck. These antlers resemble pointy ends of tree branches more than those of a deer. More of like a nature's protector type entity. That's what I'm feeling. Underneath the creature's hairs on her face are 2 large human-like eyes. Ooh, a little uncanny. I mean, like, I feel like you could have gone the goat eye route and it still would have been, but I understand a human-like eye. You get that uncanny valley and it makes it look a little unnerving even though that it's friendly. I get it. Her torso is relatively similar structures to the Wandering Doom, being thin and bony, although she definitely has more muscle, fat in her torso. She a chunky girl. That the aforementioned creature. She also has similarly large hips. Them some birthing hips, brother. She's a mama. Further made apparent by the pelvic bones. Okay. What type of description is this? I'm sorry, what? There also appears to be a small tail at the rear, akin to a rabbit's tail. Yo, are we gonna go into the reproduction of this thing? We better not, if that's where this is going. On her underside are 2 short tendrils of different lengths, possibly arms. Ooh, so it has like T-Rex arms on its belly. Okay. Unlike most of her gigantic creatures, there is nothing next to her that we can directly compare her to. How about the fucking hill that she's on? However, she can be seen at about the same height as the mountain she is standing on. On her close image, she can also see that her eyes dwarf the size of birds flying around her. So she has to be at least 400 meters tall. Okay. I'm gonna be real. We're looking at a B at best. B at best. I'm gonna be real. Let's go behavior. Behavior and origin. Not much is known about this peculiar creature that the caption provided from the caption. We can see that the mascot is a so-called protector of an anonymous small town. This could imply that she is a benevolent being directly protect the town, or simply that the creature just so happens to take out any threats of the town for food or territory. So it's like Godzilla and Godzilla vs. King Kong. We consider the former scenario to be more likely, as we see many birds flocking around her, possibly making nests on her thick fur without being bothered by it. As a protector of the town, she has likely fought and possibly even defeated a number of cryptids in the canon. Low-key, that would be kind of dope, just to see, like, a fucking kaiju battle, like, every week, like it's a TV show. Like, that would be kind of dope, I'll admit. Aside from being a protector and mascot, she is the main center attention in the tourist trade of anonymous town. Leave it up to humans. We have a kaiju-level entity just watching over a town, and what do? We turn it into a tourist attraction. Dog, human nature knows no bounds. Alright, the photographer also states that she may be our only hope, presumably referring to her possibility protecting them from these beings. C tier. I'm sorry. It did not win me over with that last little bit. It is a big lady monster that just protects the town. Now, the design is not terrible, but it's nothing noteworthy. You understand what I'm saying here. I think C tier is a valid placement for this, considering you're next to the God of Roadkill. You aren't as bad as the Fetid King. The Fetid King just is cheesy, and I really don't like it. But C tier, I think, is pretty valid. It's just because he has so many bangers. Smile Room. A lot of you guys actually requested this one that I didn't do in part 1. However, let's take a look. Number 1, the picture. Terrifying. I don't even know how this is going to work. Maybe it's like a blob-like entity that hides behind doors. And then when you open it, it like... I said last time that human-like teeth on things that aren't natural, that scares me. I don't like fists with human-like teeth. And I think birds with teeth are scary. So, a room with teeth takes it a bit further. So I'm interested to see how this works. The Smile Room manifests as 2 horrifying large rows of giant, unclean, crooked teeth, roughly affixed in dark red gums covered in a smooth, clear material not unlike saliva. The illustration of the cryptid shows that it can develop small strands like appendages protruding from the gums. Oh! So the gum has hands that can pull you into a maw. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Like appendages protruding from the gums of the creature to make itself more prehensible in some cases where the space it occupies cannot support it. Due to the Smile Room's ability to occupy any abandoned room or space, the exact height and furthermore weight of the cryptid cannot be pinpointed. It has been confirmed that the Smile Room is sort of a wormhole from our universe to the mouth of some unfathomably large, sleeping, nigh dead entity. The entity in question has been described physically nor hinted at in appearance aside from size. That went somewhere cool that I really dig. So it's like a fourth dimensional being that manifests in empty rooms that didn't have it, and it's just feeding an entity that we can't fully comprehend, and it just manifests in our world as a maw. I like that. I like that. Behavior. The Smile Room is something very grotesque and considerably cosmic. It's man-eating wormhole between our universe and the mouth of a giant, almost deceased, eldritch abomination likely from another reality. Wow, you just instantly got yourself up another tier. We went the eldritch route. I'm really digging this. Any empty and neglected room or space can become a Smile Room at its will, and once anyone is drawn in, they are decimated akin to a black hole. If every attempt at catching its desired prey falls, however, it's able to create ambulatory parasitic hosts at will. Okay, so it can possess things. No. Okay, so now we're going to, it's an eldritch horror that can corrupt the life around it. Okay. And it manifests as something so messed up that we look at it as it's just human teeth gnawing at things. I like it. While the exact behavior of these hosts is unknown, Word of God states that they can infect humans, causing them to transform into ambulatory Smile Room hosts. The mystery of the Smile Room in universe has been going around since 2006. More or less. On July 27, 2006, in Oshawa, Ontario, 2 teenagers go missing after breaking into a bowling Neb's Fun World. A friend of theirs who was apparently concerned went to look and then found a cell phone while searching for them and contained this infamous picture of the Smile Room. A concerned friend turns into the police after discovering the photo. However, upon police investigation, the Smile Room was found not to be a part of the building. This indicates that once the Smile Room finishes its hunting in a certain place, it vanishes, moving on to the next, possibly moving to a different feeding ground perpetually. Oh, so it just never stops eating, and any door that you open, it can manifest. Oh, I dig it. Albeit not fully emphasized or explained in any way, the Smile Room seems to prefer preying on teenagers mostly. However, this is not confirmed. It may just be Trevor employing a teenagers are victims trope in some way. Reason of this speculation is because of the second recorded sighting of the Smile Room on an unknown date. The police collected and gathered cell phone containing an image of the Smile Room due to its connection in case of a missing teenager. Likely devoured by the Smile Room, the caption states that it has been kept from the media, presumably not to spread panic. Oh yeah, no shit. If you found out that, yeah, teenagers are gonna get it, and every time that you open a door, it could manifest and just eat you. Absolutely not, bro. That's terrifying. Ugh. Let me see, where were we? The caption states that has been kept from the media, presumably not to spread a panic, and furthermore, misinformation about the case, but the recovered items from the scene were found and stained to be in a clear, organic material, not unlike saliva. So it's probably saliva. Likely traces left by the Smile Room. I dig it, bro. That just got itself to a high B. It just got itself to a high B immediately. Like, that last little bit of it's an eldritch abomination that manifests into our world as a just teeth, and it could possess people and corrupt life to bring it to hunt outside of its little space. I really, really dig that, dude. B tier, high B tier. I think that's perfectly valid. I actually really like that. That was a genuine surprise. Cartoon cat. Woo! This one looks messed up, man. Organic teeth on a inorganic being. I'm thinking we're gonna get it's like a Pixar monster, like a Pixar abomination. Maybe it's like an eldritch god possessing a Pixar creature. That's what it's looking like to me. Appearance. Cartoon cat depicts a black-skinned, tall, rather slender, and malleable humanoid entity with a feline head. Manifesting with physical aesthetic akin to of a rubber hose. 1930s cartoon character, albeit more grotesque and realistic, Word of God states that the cartoon cat lacks a stable height. As also proven by several photos that the fetid entity at different heights. With some photos depicting the cartoon cat reaching up to a towering size of a 2-story building. Okay, I'm thinking we're going to get like a Bill Cipher type of creature. Like, this is something that doesn't have a concrete form, but it picked a cartoon cat in order to manifest itself in our reality. That's what it's feeling like to me. Normal-sized houses, others depict him as assorted heights, being only a few feet taller than the average human being. It also applies to cartoon cat shape and physical characteristics. In particular, photo of it depicts it with a large white patch pasted on its abdomen. Not wearing gloves. Okay. And wearing an old-time cartoon-style boots, presumably to blend more of an old animation instead. Like, this does kind of read as like an eldritch monster that's like trying to figure out how to like comfort children. So I'm just gonna manifest as a cartoon because fuck it, kids like cartoons. Yeah, no, this is reading a lot like Bill Cipher. I'll be real. Cartoon cat also has a perpetually changing physical structure and head shape. As for the latter, it fluctuates between being spherical to thinner and ovally shaped. Ooh, so it's like a candle being. It's like ultimately changing. It's like an old school Looney Tunes character that's just that's what it sounded like to me. Per se, the perpetual prominent physical characteristics of a cat are its eyes, which fluctuate between being shorter and more round and more slender and taller in shape. They are composed of white sclera, which sometimes goes bloodshot for an unspecified reasons. Okay, so it's like trying to keep its form, but it's just always changing. And a black pupil which dilates or becomes thinner and sharper, akin to the actual cat. I dislike cat eyes. I think cat eyes are kind of like nature's way of telling you get fucked, bro. But that's just me. The cartoon cat is its crooked and often bloodstained teeth that are affixed under a set of vivid red gums. Another iconic trait is it often wears white gloves with 3 thin textural black lines similar to some car. So it's just trying to copy it as best as it can. Okay. Let's skip down to behavior because I think we get it now. Cartoon cat is an exceedingly malevolent cosmic parasite. One that is hollow and hungry for vicious violence and committing atrocities. Do you know what this reads like? It's like an old, like, Goofy sort that somebody did, and it's like Goofy confessing to, like, I killed 13 people, and I don't regret it. Like, that's what it reads like. It's just a cosmic, insane entity that manifests as a kid's cartoon and then just commits atrocities. Like, that's what it reads like to me. One that has been stated numerous times to be fetid, rotten, and dripping, and really ancient. And most importantly of all, having ill and evil intentions. Cartoon cat disguises as an outdated, old rubber hose-style cartoon mascot in an unorthodox way, seemingly to provoke a sense of familiarity and safety within the minds of its victims. before presumably revealing its true, unnerving, revolting intentions, leading to the victim's instant horrific demise. Trevor stated that he and it always a funny cat. Sometimes the mask disguise only slips off a little. Okay. So that more or less kind of confirms. I actually really like this one, dude. I think because of the ceiling that you could go with this might actually deserve a bigger deep dive into that story, because I'm really interested if there's a story around this. I'm going to put that in S. That's really good. I would put that at the same level. I think that's actually better than Siren Head. That's really good. I'm a big fan of that. Turn out the lights, okay? I usually like to put, like, what I think the creature is going to be, like, initial thoughts on here. I think this creature is meant to invoke, like, that good old-fashioned go into your basement type of fear. Isn't it kind of weird that, like, everybody had, like, Saturday fear in going into the basement? I always found that strange, okay? I'm a Michigan boy. All of our basements look like awful messes, bro. Most of Michigan don't have finished basements. In fact, I didn't even know this until I turned like 16. The rest of the country has a special name for our basements. A Michigan basement. That's why I was scared of mine, and that's what I think this creature is meant to invoke. Like, looking at the picture really quick, I think bad bro. I think he's a bad dude. I think there's bad vibes if I go down there. I think, knowing Trevor Henderson, bro, he's probably going to turn me into flesh confetti. Okay, let's get into the appearance, behavior, and I'm going to give my thoughts on this. Turn Out the Lights is an urban legend created by Canadian horror artist Trevor Henderson. He appears to look like a tall, skinny figure with a very lanky and wobbly arms. Yeah, okay, let me just first say this. Trevor Henderson likes to create creatures that invoke like a childlike design, okay? We already went over Cartoon Cat. We're going to be going over Cartoon Dog in this video. But I feel like a lot of his creatures are meant to invoke like an almost uncanny child cartoon character. That's what I think when I look at this. And I'm not normally a huge fan of these designs because there's only so far that you can go with it. But I put Cartoon Cat in S tier because they went the Lovecraftian horror route, and I really dig that. It has every characteristic that of a cartoon character. Yup. It wears all white shoes, white gloves. However, the entity is shrouded in all black, and we cannot see its full face or features. But we can imply that it is speculated that the creature looks like the figure on the sign in the picture reading, "Leaving last, turn out the lights." A cartoon character that appears to look like it's from the old show. Similar to the other cartoon monsters like the infamous Cartoon Cat and Cartoon Dog. I swear I don't read these before we do it because it hurts my reaction. However, we can picture of the creature that is both in the poster and being downstairs. It has a zigzag-like body shape with a fully white light bulb head. The entity has gloves and we cannot see them. Okay. Right away, I need a little bit more, okay? Like, I gave him credit on Cartoon Cat because it was the first one to do it. But there's a level to taking the old-fashioned cartoon look and making it scary. Like, I need a little bit of seasoning on this, bro. I need a little bit of spice on this. I need this to be almost like a Lights Out. Do you remember that movie, like a Lights Out, where it only is able to come out, like, in the darkness? I understand this is supposed to be like a basement type thing. Let's go into this. Let's go into this. Behavior. The creature mainly enters inside of a person's home, putting the signs where it says, "Leaving last, turn out the..." Okay. So this thing puts up signs in your home, telling you the rules of this creature. Okay. So if we're going to take what the other creatures were, my last prediction, it's some type of eldritch Lovecraftian being that wants to play a game with mortals, and it puts up these signs as like a game board for them, where the Cartoon Cat will just fucking kill you and just be evil. This, I think, has more of a game around it, okay? It just likes fooling with mortals. Okay. On possibly every person who is encountered everywhere on their homes. Ooh, and he does this as a warning whenever a person doesn't turn out every light in their house, whereas he gives many warnings. If the person ignores the warnings he gives, then he has another form in which is very terrifying. In this form, he has blood red eyes, and his hands, which were originally ordinary cartoon gloves, have turned into razor-sharp blades. He will then brutally murder the person to death. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Y'all watch this for, like, the random stuff that I say. I hate sentences that are like brutally murders them to death because, I don't know, it breaks my brain because of what you've effectively said. It kills them to death. That always bothers me whenever somebody writes it that way. I'm not going to negatively rank the Trevor Henderson creature based off how the wiki is written, but brother, murder to death is dumb. I'm sorry. Using its serrated sharp blades, so he gives a fair warning to a person who doesn't turn out the lights to turn off their lights, whether they leave the house to go somewhere or when you are sleeping in general. That's it? That's all you're giving me? Okay. Where are the pros of this creature? Number one, it's starting to take that cartoon cat approach in terms of like, it's like an otherworldly entity, okay? It's playing a game with the victims that it is going by. I like it putting up signs. That's kind of dope. But really? Its hands turns in the razor blades and it murders you to death. Like, really? That's what we're ending with, okay? It needs a little bit more spice, bro. Is it the worst thing I've reviewed? No. I think the Fetid King is actual... I just hate it. I hate, like, creepypastas. I hate stories that use, like, video game consoles and computers to attack something. Because, I'm sorry, the moment you think that your tech is going to kill you, you just go out camping for a few days. I'm sorry, bro. That's what I'm doing. And when I look at this, I'm like, okay, turn out the lights. Is it scary? Yes, but it's like, I need a little bit more. All the other creatures have like an added thing to them. A hunting pattern, a personality, a mimicking ability. This just, I'm going to razor blade you to death. Like, you see what I'm saying? I need a little bit more. I'm going to put it in C tier. C tier, almost D tier. I need a little bit more. The Watchtower is cooler than that. C tier, give me more, and I'll dig it, okay? That's all I'm saying. Cartoon dog. I needed a good palate cleanser, and I'm really hoping the cartoon dog is going to be able to do this. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Cartoon dog is an urban legend created. Actually, I'm not going to read this every single time. I'm sorry. Appearance. The cartoon dog is a grotesque, towering humanoid creature with an unnaturally elongated and skeletal frame. Her limbs are disproportionately long and thin, ending in oversized claw hands that add to her menacing aura. It has aura. Okay, I'm sorry. That's cringe. First thoughts. It's a girl monster. I'm sorry. I said that last time and I thought it was funny. I'm going to say it again in this one. Okay, so homicidal goofy. That's what I'm thinking, bro. The last one was like scary cat, homicidal goofy, like... In all honesty, I said this in the last video, and if I ever edit it in the one big video, it's like I said this like 10 minutes ago. Whenever I hear Trevor Henderson making a cartoon creature into like a evil demon monster, I think of like that little YouTube short where it's like Goofy going to a court case and he's like, "You killed 13 people, Goofy. You have anything to say to yourself?" And he's like, "The voices told me to do it." Like, man, that was awful. Goofy said the voices told me to do it. I don't know why. That's what I think here. Like, I think, like, it's like a bastardized version of something that you enjoyed watching as a kid. And that could be effective like it was for Cartoon Dog. But man, turn out the lights. That messed me up. That messed me up in terms of, like, now I'm not looking at these as good. But, let's hear them out. The creature's head is disturbingly large compared to her body, featuring a grotesque gaping mouth filled with rows of sharp, jagged teeth and some ready to tear into anything. Her eyes are hollow, black voids that give off an unsettling, empty stare, creating the impression that it is constantly watching. The cartoon god's skin is pitch black and appears rubbery, almost like a distorted cartoon character come to life. The texture of its skin reflects no light, enhancing its eerie, sinister presence. Its body language is unnaturally fluid and exaggerated, contributing to its overall horrifying and surreal appearance. Okay, Vanta black skin, rubbery texture. I'm gonna add a point to that because I think you can do a lot with that. Like, the fact that, like, I keep on saying it, but I guarantee this is supposed to be some type of, like, eldritch being manifesting into our plane of reality, and it wants to eat children. It wants to eat them squishy 10-year-olds, bro, okay? That's what I'm thinking. Oh, no, it didn't even... We don't get a behavior? Ooh, I got, I don't like that. I do not like that. I got, dude, you fumbled at the finish line. I need a behavior, bro. You can't just hit me with the trivia. Because, let me tell you something. This sounds like a worse version of Cartoon Cat. But Cartoon Cat had the behavior and, like, the otherworldly thing about it. Is this supposed to be just a different version of Cartoon Cat, but just done slightly worse? I'm not putting this in S tier. I just can't. I'll put it in B tier, because I'll put it in B tier. I think B tier is valid, but damn, bro. Come on. Though those are two fumbles. Those are two cartoon creatures that are failing to live up to Cartoon Cat. Okay, that's what I'm feeling here. I need a little bit more out of Cartoon Dog to get it up to an A, but the fact that there's no behavior, there's no, like, different thing, there's no, like, extra sauce, okay? I keep on saying that, but you know what I mean. I need a little bit of oomph to it. And this doesn't have it. So, B tier, B minus at best, bro. The God of Chickens. I love this one. This one sounds dope, okay? This one, hopefully, is the palate cleanser of both of those, bro. But that's 2 misses in a row. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. And just to begin, so we got an appearance, we got an intro, a behavior, and origin. Okay, this one will be better. Okay. Let's get it. The chicken ghost, also known as the God of Chickens, Ghost Chicken, or Chicken Man, is a minor deity who is a chicken, although he is creepy. He is stated to be a chaotically good and rarely attacks, as he may just be protecting the chickens. Okay. I actually kind of like that. I digged the God of Roadkill. I just questioned some of its, like, oh, and it forces you to crash. Like, that's the problem that I didn't like. I would like it if it just chased you down like a gorilla and then just whacked your car off the road. That was my problem with God of Roadkill, but I liked the protector of a creature type thing. And also, I don't know if y'all ever been close to a chicken. Chickens are just weird animals, bro. Like, they look cute as babies, but then the moment they get a little bit older, bro, like, let me just say something. I am not in favor of chicken fighting, but I think there's a few chickens that I think would do it otherwise, bro. I think they would do it anyways. But anyways, enough controversial opinions. Let's get into this. The chicken ghost is a tall, skeletal, humanoid chicken with pearly white skin. He has huge, bulging red eyes with small black pupils that are intended to make him look like a humanoid chicken fetus. Oh. Let me just warn you, if fetus imagery F's with you a little bit, you are not going to like the final creature of this, because a lot of people have told me that's probably one of the worst ones that he's ever made. Bro, we went away from, like, big chicken to it's a walking chicken fetus with razor-sharp curved beak. His hands and feet all resemble chicken feet with 3 skeletal fingers and a thumb on each hand. In his patron saint drawing, he has a white glowing pearl-like orb in his chest that floats in place, which may be a chicken egg. Okay. In one of the drawings, he is shown to have a short branching protrusion bristling like thorns from his back. Okay, so like a porcupine chicken, half-developed fetus chicken humanoid creature, bro. I hate to say it, but I would laugh so hard if you know how he made like a cartoon cat, cartoon dog, like all that? What if he made, I swear if this is true, I'm done. If this is meant to be the chicken from Family Guy, if that is the case, brother, where we go? Where is the plot? The surefire way to know if the chicken ghost is around is to have a chicken farm. He's just knocking on the door, just being like, yo, you treating them chickens right? Henrietta in the back's telling me that you ain't giving her privacy. And then just proceeds to kill you. Since all chickens chirp loudly at the same time when he is present, they clearly pay tribute to him. Our God has returned! They clearly pay tribute to him. The same thing happens with roosters and hens. They crow in groups when this mysterious being makes an appearance. Now, I was joking about it. However, I do like the idea that animals are a bit more in tune to, like, a presence than we are. Let me tell you something. I love my dogs. When my dogs start barking at the darkness, I'm like, that better be a raccoon. Or y'all are going outside. I'm sorry. Like, I hate those videos when the dog is just barking at a corner and there's nothing there, sweetie. And the dog is like, Bits, please, there is a demon in the corner. He's laughing at me right now. How can you not see that? Like, I feel like dogs are a bit more in tune with that weird stuff, or they're just dumb, which is also equally, if not more, possible. So the thought that chickens are gonna do it, I mean, like, that could work. In the same way as the angel, there is only one chicken ghost, but despite that, the enigmatic being has been documented at multiple occasions, like any bird. Chicken ghost feeds on seeds, rice, alfalfa, wheats, oats, sunflower seeds, and some insects such as ants, worms, however. Since he is not completely avian, it is rumored that he can also be fed things that humans eat without any problem. I swear, if they're gonna go the chicken-human homunculi type thing, like, when a chicken and a human love each other really much, like I swear if we're going that route, dog. If that's where we're going with this, then we're going down. We're going down quick. That's what I'm thinking. But where exactly does chicken ghost come from? There are different theories, but one of them is that he is an entity that was created thanks to the increase in chicken consumption in our world. A being that seeks the liberation of the species, or even a if we're going the monstrous Freebirds route to this, like, this is meant to be like Reggie from Freebirds, like, this could go a lot of ways. But I'm into it, but I'm very, very iffy on this. A plan crazy enough to turn the entire aviparous species against us. Of course, if you live in a city, you're not at all likely to see chicken ghost. However, things change if you decide to visit a farm or a rural town. Then you should be afraid, especially if you are surrounded by chickens, hens, or roosters. You never know when everyone can turn against you. Okay, but for real though, bro, how many chickens do you think you could take in a fight, like Call of Duty zombies type thing? Let me tell you something, okay? I think some chickens, if they arm themselves and we all got into like a little fight, okay, then we would have a problem. However, I think at bare minimum, 53. I think myself, hand-to-hand combat, bro. 53 chickens, man. A chicken's gonna be like, bro's gonna fucking hover up here, and I'm gonna go, like, 1, 2, boom, snapped all the bones in its sternum. You're gonna be here, fucking choking, man. Boom, curve stomp the chicken. And then, boom, Henrietta, now that she got confident that her deity is watching, he's, like, watching in the corner, bro. He's, like, on a chair, and he's, like, Henrietta's gonna fly at me, boom, Muay Thai elbow in the face, break that sternum, man. We don't even have to bring out the force multipliers, but, you know, fanny pack for a reason, man. I bring it up, man. That's when things get sour. However, I said in part 1, there are 2 ways to solve this issue. There is Lord rebuke thee, and I think we don't even need the until the chicken deity decides he wants to scrap with me. But even then, yo, we might be having a Peter Griffin, like, Chicken Man type of throwdown for the next 15 minutes. What a legendary showdown it would be. I'm feeling like Tai Lung, like, our fight will be legendary. Winner becomes the new god of chickens. I would be down. Another theory suggests that... wow. Another theory suggests that some experiments were carried out with chicken egg... No! We are not doing this. Chicken eggs in laboratories that border on the limit of what is legal. In fact, it says Russins. I swear if they're going Russin homunculi, I swear if we're going that round, I might lose it. Russins themselves have already been experimenting in the area of incubation with the purpose of creating life. No. Something that humanity haven't seen before. They want to be the first in everything and earn the respect of the rest of the world. The appearance of chicken ghost makes us think that it was human intervention. Oh no. Since he was the appearance of a bird and a human at the same time, in fact, chicken ghost could have grown like any other animal and was born as a tiny being and over time become more noticeable and disturbingly terrifying. Which could explain why he has not been given the necessary attention. He would probably have been mistaken for a birth of a deformed bird. Yes, but how did it happen? I feel like that's where they were going with it. Okay, that's where they were going. They were gonna make him like a chicken homunculi, a human homunculi creature, but they couldn't bring themselves to write it without. Listen, man, a Russin wanted to play the big G and decided to artificially inseminate a chicken, and then that chicken was born. And then he was like, oh, well, damn, get out of here. Like, kicked him out the door. And that chicken grew up and decided he had mommy and daddy issues and decided, you know what? I am protector of the chickens. He is the Lorax of the chicken world, and I would box him to find out who the new god of chickens would be. That is what I think. I actually kind of like it. I dig it. I'm making jokes. The design seems cool. Long arms. He probably has the reats on me. But hey, everybody's the same size when we're standing up, brother. A double leg takedown, where it's done, brother. Honestly, man, I had so much fun with this. I'm putting this in A. Like, call me biased. I had so much fun talking about this one compared to the other ones that I was talking about. I think A tier. God of Chickens. It's funny. It implies a lot of really funny things. Well, I say funny, but messed up things that I think it's good, lighthearted, could be scary, and I like the animal intervention of the thing, okay? That's all I'm saying. A-. I think that's valid. Bonesworth. Okay. Let me tell you something. This is what I think it is. I think this is meant to be a passed-away toddler, and that's why its skull looks like it's tartan to form. I wanted to say this in another video, I forget what it was. There are certain animals that just have really scary-looking skeletons. However, I didn't want to say this without sounding sus. However, I'm going to bring this up. Do you know what else has a super terrifying skeleton? Toddlers, bro. Have you ever seen a toddler skull? Dog, they look like some demon entities, bro. They got, like, all their teeth on their cheekbones, and I'm like, no wonder you're squishy, man. You are an in development child. You are currently being built as we speak. Your skull can't even decide how big it wants to be. You're still forming. You are like the alpha build of a human. Anyways, let's get into Bonesworth. Appearance: Bonesworth depicts a decrepit skeletal entity with a round head, not unlike a human skull, composed of somewhat thin and rectangular jaws split horizontally by the slit that is Bonesworth's mouth, which has been shown to be often toothless, although a precise picture shows that it was small, crooked teeth. The jaws connect to the entity's rotund occiput, which is frontally pierced with two large and hollow eyes and a large opening in the middle, which is intended to be the creature's nose. It just looks like a child skeleton, I'll be real with you, man. Interestingly enough, Bonesworth's head, per se, is split with two identical halves, and it's considering what's next. It is the frontal layer coating several identical layers which overlap on top of each other and are also able to split in half and crack open to reveal more layers. Okay, so it has like a bone onion build. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Theoretically, it could go on forever, as Bonesworth was confirmed to have infinite layers, skulls underneath its frontals. I don't know, man. That's kind of weird. Like, it's weird not in like an interesting way, but it's like, it's weird in a way of like, oh, okay, it's infinite bone, dog. All right. The head connects to a small neck, which can surprisingly support the disproportionately large head size of Bonesworth. His neck is also linked to a strong and hollow ribcage with flat, symmetrical ribs. A ribcage has a narrow protrusion at the bottom, which marks the end of the entity's body. Bonesworth possesses skeletal arms, each of them terminating at hands with an unidentified number of slender and fragile fingers. Oh, he's a fragile boy. Okay. The behavior's gonna be the savior of this one because the design is just, I guess it's uncanny, but I need a little bit more. Bonesworth is a mischievous creature with an as of yet unknown origin. Word of God states that the entity is a good boy. I knew it. I knew he was going to be a friendly little toddler creature. I knew it. It does not have any malevolent intentions or morality, as he is relatively harmless, albeit clingy. Oh no, I know where we're going with this. And is always there. Although once Bonesworth has decided his favorite, he is almost impossible to get rid of. Oh no, it's a clinging toddler, bro. Despite being positive and benevolent, Bonesworth is still very likely to do several actions which aren't overall likable of him due to his mischievous nature. As mentioned before, examples stated by Trevor include moving your ladder while you're climbing it, trapping you in the garage for several days, messing with your brake cables, and moving things around while you're out. So he's an asshole, okay? That's what I'm thinking. He's no longer like an idiot toddler. He's just an annoying kid. However, it is likely that Bonesworth only does this playfully and with no harmful intent. Dog, he's cutting my brakes. Oh, cool. I'm just trying to be playful. How do you even know how to do that? Another unfavorable trait of Bonesworth is that he is often, presumably unintentionally, brings insomnia and sickness. Okay, so I get sick when I'm by him? Dog, what type of toddler is this? The exact nature of his sickness remains undisclosed. It has not been stated whether this only applies to Bonesworth's favorites or anyone that happens to be near Bonesworth as it wanders around, contrast to the nature of the trait. Another wholesome moral characteristic, Bonesworth is known for that he doesn't care what one says. He is a good listener and only likes hearing another voice. Interestingly enough, only those who are being followed by Bonesworth can see it. Oh! Okay, I guess that's kind of cool. I remember watching a movie called It Follows, and it had such a cool idea. A creature is going to follow you, and when it gets you, it'll kill you, but you're the only one that can see it, but other people can interact with it. So, he is a clingy toddler that tries to cut your brakes, but he makes you sick. So, he's like a debuffed toddler. Bonesworth derives his name from the titular in-story mobile game, said to be a key in summoning him. No! You have to play a mobile game? No. Although the wording implies that he hasn't been confirmed in story, whether his signifies that Bonesworth is being from another world, dimension, or realm is unknown. Abilities. Bonesworth is apparently able to break the laws of physics due to him possessing an infinite layers which all overlap on top of each other. Theoretically, he would be able to make Morse code or generate noises with it he wanted to. As mentioned before, Bonesworth is said to be able to be summoned via the titular mobile game. Bonesworth can also manipulate one's perspective to only have it be visible to whoever is currently following, as well as bringing insomnia and illness to people. Okay, so you summon him with a fucking mobile game. Get the Bonesworth mobile game, summon a debuffed toddler. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, the mobile game literally knocked it down a peg. It quite literally. And what's his ability? Oh, he has onion head. Cool. He wants to be a good boy, but he brings debuffs, and he tries to cut my brakes. No. Like, I would argue that's not even, like, benevolent. He's just, like, what? No. No. Okay, I might actually, but D tier. D tier. Actually, that's dumb. That's dumb. I'm not a fan of that. It was gonna go in bottom of C, but then they hit me with, oh, you summon him by playing the Bonesworth mobile game. Dog, how good were the ads on that? Like, for real, bro. What the hell? The Bellringer. Okay, number one, this design. I'm slightly worried because I feel like this could be him trying to capture lightning in a bottle by creating another Siren Head. And Siren Head shouldn't work, but it does work. So the Bellringer looks like that. I mean, like, that's all I gotta say. I'm a little bit worried, but I am intrigued. Okay. Bellringer depicts a human-like figure standing in a dimly lit room where it originated is unknown. The entirety of the creature, minus the arms, appears to be a mere skeleton, held together by some sort of fully encompassing web-like material, possibly muscular tissue or mucus. Ooh, I kind of like that. It's like a melty wax, like strewn over a skeleton. Like, I kind of dig that. Its body is entirely comprised of uneven ribs down to the pelvis and is connected to a spinal cord that columns that appear to be smoothly bent in zigzag lines. So it's like a scoliosis type creature. Okay. Starting at the back of the torso, then to the front, then to the back again, the creature's chest area has a very large and wide ribcage. Getting smaller the further down you go. It has about 11 ribs on it, right side, our left, it's right, okay, thanks, and 13 ribs on its left side. The ribs on its right side are longer than the left, okay, so it's like, it's a really just uneven looking creature. Okay, I think I get that. I'm sorry I'm in a bad mood, man, but like, I feel like a lot of these creatures had a good thing, at least in this part, but then started losing it at the end, and I'm a little bit worried on this one. The creature does not actually possess any sort of tailbone or pelvic bone. It is instead connected directly to the femur bones. Okay, so it just doesn't have hips, which have unnaturally large tips, which is what the creature uses as a substitute for a pelvic bone. The legs themselves appear relatively normal and human-like from here, but they are still covered in a strange cohesive substance that keeps the creature together. Okay. Strangely, the arms of this monster are connected to the lower part of its chest area rather than the soldiers. They are not actually connected to any of the other bones, instead being connected to the encompassing body material via another red substance, almost appearing to be glued on. Okay, I'm in. You're getting me into it. It's a little body horror, grotesque element. I'm in. They appear to be very short, even proportionally shorter than a human. Due to the shape of its arms, it is unlikely that they are able to bend at the elbows. The creature's hands are quite small and containing 3 thin yet sharp digits as well as opposable thumbs. Okay, so it's like, I'm sorry to say, a little crippled monster. Like that's what it looks like to me. He does not have pelvis. He can barely move his legs. He has uneven ribs, scoliosis back, and he doesn't have elbows. Like, it's a crippled monster. Like, what is he supposed... Like, I feel bad. Like, I feel more bad than scared at this point. And, of course, it appears to be made of any organic material instead of being replaced with a typical red electric school bell that thought it appears orange due to the lighting, the hammer of which appears to protrude out of its neck and move like a joint. It does not appear to have any components of an electric bell, though, likely due to being moved naturally. Okay, so it has like a little pinky that is like, okay. Behavior. The problem is that there are several of them, making it easier for them to attack in a pack, although it may not seem like it. They are intelligent and use their bell to disorient their victims. They also have the facility to camouflage, and for some reason they hate children. Yeah, bro, because they probably make fun of them. It's just like, hey, look at your arms. Look at your arms, bro. You little... Like, yeah, no. I probably wouldn't like kids, too, if all I do is roast how I look. Obviously, bro. Of course he doesn't like children. None of these creatures like children other than, like, the cartoon cat that wants to eat them. They hate children. The only thing that they want is to finish off and consume all of the children they can. Okay, so we like children. It is said that they will not directly attack an adult unless it's trying to stop them from eating one of the children. They usually habit abandoned schools. Okay, listen. Okay, I'm gonna give my ranking on this. So, it's a How does it eat you? Real talk, though. How does it eat you? Its head is a bell. Unless it opens up Among Us style and, like, brings you in with its tendrils, which it didn't state, by the way, I don't know how to feel about that, then. Like, really? Like, what does it do? Like, what? Damn, I, like, had a heart attack, like, the pressure changed. I thought maybe the Bellringer was coming. I roast him too many times, but I'm gonna roast him again. He's a little crippled monster that doesn't even have even ribs. A little scoliosis skull, a scoliosis spine, with, like, little legs that, what's it gonna do? Hobble? So, like, the bell disorients you. Okay. Like, I'll be real, man. This would be something that I would probably throw hands with. Like, as far as the creatures go, I'm running from everything in S tier and probably most of A tier, except for the God Chicken. This thing just seems meh. Like, okay, headphones. Bah, bah, bah. Broke your ribs. Broke your little uneven ribs. Like, dude, it's better than the Watchtower. I'm gonna put him in C tier. What is it? How does it eat you, though? Like, come on. Like, this sounds like something we could clear up with some 1-2s and a little bit of a flamethrower. That's what I'm feeling with this one. And finally, probably the one that you guys have warned me the most about, the Pink Man or the Forgotten Baby. Listen, man, I think we got a taste of this with, like, the fetus imagery that's in the photo, and this one I feel like is going to be rough, but I am very intrigued by this. The Forgotten Baby / Pink Man is a grotesque, gangling humanoid creature seen poking its head and a portion of its body through the doorway of a dimly lit blue bedroom. It is covered in a pale pinkish skin. Since it is not fully visible, the other half of its body is left to imagination. Due to this, it's unknown if it is a biped or a quadruped. Torso of the creature appears to be quite thin, malnourished due to the visible ribs. It connects down to the thin pelvis with small illuminum bones, which is also linked to a slim, long, visible leg. The color of said leg slowly degrades to a reddish color as it goes down. The lower part of the leg is fully red, and it is unknown if this is because of blood or is it a natural appearance. The design is good. Like, the design alone earns it a B tier. Like, I really dig this. It reminds me of Resident Evil Village, like when you're fighting like the fetus baby. Like that was scary. It reminds me a little bit of PT, so maybe I'm a little bit, biased. The head of the creature is almost oval-shaped, with the forehead being larger than the chin shape. It has a sort of wrinkly face. It seems quite pale, although no veins are sewn. If it even has any, the creature has a wide-open, pitch-black mouth, except for the pair of blood-red teeth or maybe gums. Oh! It has these half-developed teeth, and the teeth are protruding through the gums, and they're like, bro. If it starts saying mama, nah, we're done. We're done after that, bro. Hells no. It appears to have a single thin nostril pierced into its flat face with no nose shape or snout visible. It has a large, fully white eyes with unnervingly dilated black pupils which seem to be cut off, revealing similar white strings or small parts inside. Its pupils appear to be looking in different directions, which are difficult to notice due to how big they are. So, I'll be real. Obviously, this is meant to look like an underdeveloped fetus. 100% that is what we're going for with this design. And I think that design for a creature can work really, really well. I've already said Resident Evil Village had a really good one. I think the design works. It's unnerving, uncanny. It appeals to like a nature of humanity. Like, I think this works. However, I need a little something about the threat. Like, this looks like a big fetus. The earlier photo of the creature depicts it as shorter height, a veiny, uneasy-looking texture, of a meaty skin, barely open eyes, and it's biped. Its limb looked like jarred and odd, and all these traits giving it an appearance closer to a fetus. Okay, well, obviously. Ooh, okay. Behavior. Let's get it. The Pink Man is an enigmatic supernatural being with an unclear morality or actions. Origins are as of yet unclear. The Pink Man's first possible manifestation was of an unspoken incident that caused a local hospital to burn down in a fire. After said fire, the maternity ward was the only part of the building that was never rebuilt. It is never made obvious what made the maternity ward neglected, although it is presumed to be connected to the Pink Man. Ooh! So the burning of like a maternity ward down, it caused this thing to spawn. Okay. I dig this. I like that's a cool thing. The caption of the second, thus first confirmed image of the creature, shows that it is notably grown in size of the previous case. Granted, the post with the maternity ward is still not confirmed to be the same creature as of yet, but I would argue it is. But albeit the similarities are undeniable. The creature was shown to have grown so big to a point of having duck under the doorway to enter the room. The aftermath of the post remains to be shrouded in mystery, as well as the creature itself. The rest of the caption only describing how it moves delicately for its size. However, it didn't make a sound like a television channel put on mute. Ooh, I don't like that. like imagine opening your door and you just see unnaturally quiet. It looks at you. And looking the way that it does, that's a heart attack right there. That kind of got to me at that one little bit. Unnaturally silent. Okay. The television channel metaphor eventually made sense, as Trevor Lake confirmed in April 27, 2019 on a Face Your Art post when he revealed that the intentions and motives of the 9 of his creatures, the true intention of the Pink Man, quoting Trevor, he wants to kidnap you and trap you in static in between the channels on a television station. It is he wants to kidnap you and trap you in static between the channels of the television stations? It is unknown how exactly it does this, as no further context or elaboration has been provided by Trevor about his behavior. But thus we have confirmation that the Pink Man is indeed a supernatural entity. No shit. Of course it's a It traps you in the static between channels, though? What? What does that mean? Ugh. Aside from the large statue capable of easily incapacitating and overpowering humans, rendering them possibly vulnerable enough to be sent to another dimension, it seems to be very agile for its size, capable of moving delicately and, interestingly enough, without making a single sound. Albeit of its great size, the most notable paranormal trait about it, however, is that it can apparently not only travel through dimensions, but seal entities inside them, making it a force to be reckoned with. Oh, why? Why do we have to do that? Why do we have, like, it's such a cool design. You could have done so much more with it. You could have done, it's like the spear, like, it's just like, I'll come up with one right now. It is like the stitched together souls of dead, like, children that died in this maternity ward. The souls molded together and were reborn into this bastardized version of an underdeveloped life. That's why it takes the appearance of like an underdeveloped fetus, because the souls were not fully developed, creating that. That is how it manifests. And it's looking for a motherly figure. Like, you could do it with so many ways. You could do it with, like, if a mother ever loses a child in any type of accident, it, like, you could have done so much more with it, dude. You could have done, like, okay, if a mother loses a child, like, the dread, like, the emotions of child loss would summon it to you. Like, there's so much more you could have done with this creature that, frankly, I think what does it do? It locks you in a static channel. Cool. There's so much more you could have done with it. I'm honestly just not. Damn, dude. All of these in this part suffered at the very end, except for the God. Like, I'll put it at the top of B. Top of B, I think, is fair. There's so much more you could have done with it that you just ended off with, oh, it's an other dimensional being that yeah, it probably has nothing to do with the maternity ward then. Absolutely, like, what? What is that? Undercooked creature, bro. Missed opportunity compared to the others, in my opinion. In my opinion, of course. Needle! Oh, right away. Like, I'm looking at this creature, okay? I'm gonna be real. This is probably one of the designs that I'm probably, like, the least hyped about. Like, if I'm gonna be honest with you, it just kind of looks like a narwhal with the body of an emaciated horse. And before you say, well, actually, that's a unicorn. Sorry, side tangent. Why is it that a narwhal can exist, but a unicorn can't? I'm sorry, bro. People are acting like a unicorn is like this creature that's like, oh, there's absolutely no way that could exist. It's a horse with a horn. We know narwhals have them. Why is that a thing? But a unicorn, absolutely not. I'm not saying I want to fart rainbows and shit. No. All I want is a horse with a horn. That's objectively a cool design that, for whatever reason, didn't make the full build of our planet. Must have got lost in the alpha build. But anyway, sorry with that tangent. I just had to bring that up. Appearance. The needle is a quadrupedal creature having notable physical resemblance to a horse. I swear, if this is like a unicorn... If this is Trevor Henderson's version of a unicorn, I'm going in with an open mind. Okay? That's what I'm doing. It has an unusually thin and long body, from which emerges the first pair of legs, front and back, near the torso area, and the other pair at the rear end of the creature's body. So a horse build. Said legs are seemingly flexible. Their joints seem to be flexible with a variable orientation, as the needle can be seen putting its knee forward and having the joints be oriented by opposite directions. And do the same thing while bending its knee backwards. Dog build legs. The legs of the creature and its odd-looking stubs resembling feet. It has human feet. I'm sorry. Whenever I edit this video together, it is going to be riddled with me talking about the feet of these creatures. And that's going to sound really bad out of context and is inevitably going to get clipped into infinitum. But the key to making a good creature is you got to make the feet either scary or normal. Either horse hooves or human feet. Instantly freaky. Yeah. The needle head is small and round with two black dot eyes that are oddly approximate each other, seemingly pierced into it. And of course, the most notable physical trait of the creature is a 4-foot-long proboscis with a sharp ending point directly connecting to the head and oriented downwards, giving it the appearance of a mosquito. For the body Whoa. Is this a mosquito with the body of a horse with the feet of humans? Yo, we might have just leveled up. Dude, imagine a unicorn, but instead of it being like, nay, no, it's coming up to you and it's just impaling you with its horn where it will just drink the iron from your blood. While not made clear until the third photo of the needle was released, the skin of the creature is actually white. The golden tint in earlier photos was simply because of illumination by yellow light sources. Ooh, so it's like, ooh, I don't know if I like that. Here's a quote coming from the cryptid. We've been hearing people complain about an animal hanging around the tunnel exit near the highway. No one seems to be sure what kind of animal, but we do have to do something. It's getting aggressive. Yo, these absolute fucking city slickers don't know about Needlehead? Yeah, no, all you gotta do is feed him sugar cubes and he'll be fine. I promise you I made that up. I swear. The only reason that I'm like 50-50 he'll do it is because we already covered a creature that was like, looked like the spawn of a demon, but you feed him apples and he's your friend. I swear if there's sugar cubes in this, I might actually start losing it. You heard it here first. The Needle is a strange and ominous cryptid that is mainly located in rural towns and small cities across the Midwest. Its intentions have shown to be harmless and passive. In earlier pictures, it blends into the natural ecosystem somehow, even though nobody is really sure what kind of animal it exactly is. Although due to its nature as a cryptid, it does identify as being part of the animal kingdom despite having a resemblance to a horse. The cryptid is often mistaken being an animal, mainly a police horse, and again, nobody is sure what kind of animal. Okay, at what point do we just start making up lore to the creature? Like, I know I brought this up in a few videos, but like, there's very few cryptids that are like so weird that it wouldn't make sense for them to exist. People lose their mind when we talk about Bigfoot. Like, how could that possibly exist? What do you mean, an ape that walks on 2 feet and has hair? Like, we've never, ever seen something like that before. I'm being extremely sarcastic. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, 100% Bigfoot was an actual thing that did exist because we have fossils of something that was a 6'5" ape that walked on 2 feet. Gigantopithecus. I know I'm like shoehorning a lot of things that I just bother me. But people that act like Bigfoot is not like it would fit into our fossil record perfectly is like, no, it makes sense. A unicorn does make sense, okay? But when we start talking about Glubbenglorf shoots fire out of its fucking toenails and stacks up little rock pillars to guide hikers to safety, yeah, no, that's when cryptids get weird to me. But a Bigfoot makes sense. This is not an out of the realm of possibility creature outside of the human feet. Naturally, it has been shown to be a herbivore, apparently moving on and searching for greener pastures, which is likely to be the main source of its food. However, despite the harmless behavior of the entity, Trevor has repeatedly advised to approach it with caution, especially hunters, as it often gets aggressive towards hunters, even reaching to points that it would kill them. It has gotten progressively more violent as time has passed for unknown reasons. The Needle is often clambering through the trees. If a hunter was just lucky enough, they would be able to snap a blurry photo as sufficient proof for a sighting. On the other hand, two unlucky ones are found pinned to the trees by the entity. Their skin loose and sagging, apparently from having their blood drained by the entity. Okay, so I got the prediction right. It's basically a mosquito creature with human feet, horse build. Okay. Which is terrifying, dude. I've said, man, there's gonna be a lot of inside jokes for this channel that I'm gonna have to catch people up on. I said one of the most terrifying things that could ever exist is a mosquito the size of a dachshund. We're instantly cooked. This is a mosquito the size of a horse. Fuck that, bro. The hunter would likely only be unlucky if they tried to attack the cryptid. As the Needle began to demonstrate more aggressive behavior, as evidenced by the third picture, it has shown to become more troublesome and mischievous, with people starting to complain about it hanging around in a tunnel exit near our local highway. One would not be sure what they would be heard moving through the bushes. It's really an animal until they see it look out. Yeah, it is a pretty ugly looking creature, let's be honest with you, dog. Aside from the large stature, the entity seems to be proficient in use of its man, dude, I'm not dyslexic, I'm just partially slow when it comes to words that I'm like, what the hell is even that? unicorn horn that serves as a natural defense of its body, as it seems to really be strong and capable of draining the blood out of a human body completely to the point that the skin is left loose and sagging. I don't want to spoil things too much, but I have started research for a video of the worst possible deaths, okay? And I just want to pose a question to the viewers. Would you rather get the blood sucked out of you, like, liter by liter until you lost consciousness and died, okay? Or drowning? Me personally, I would rather get sucked dry, okay? Because you would lose consciousness before you ever really felt anything. I mean, like, I'll be real, bro. One of the greatest, like, things that ever happened to me in high school, okay? There was a blood drive, okay? I went to that blood drive, and this was when Mario Kart got into the iPhone. They were draining me fucking dry, bro. They were absolutely sucking my veins clean of blood, okay? I donated 1.5 bags that day. I donated the max, okay? They were sucking the blood out of me. I was playing Mario Kart like this, and I won a fucking race, okay? The nurse that they had to do it, yes, she was pretty ass, but she was hot, so it worked out. And then after that, ate some donuts that were like stale, but I didn't care because my blood sugar was low because lack of blood. I have no clue where this story is going. However, all I'm saying is maybe getting sucked dry of blood is not the worst possible death. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Ugh. Trivia. Trevor stated that it can't eat sugar cubes like a regular hearse would do, obviously because it has a... Somebody really asked him about sugar cubes. I would have lost my shit if he said, yeah, no, he loves sugar cubes, though. I'll be real, though. As far as a creature, the problem is we've had so many bangers up to this point. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to put above the Bellringer. I had a lot of things to say about the Bellringer. The Bellringer was just mad to me. I'll put it in C tier, though. It's kind of cool. Not quite at the God of Roadkill cool, but it's getting up there. Give me a little bit more lore. Give me a hive that it sleeps in, and it goes into like a cocoon and it grows wings. That, B tier. I think that'd be dope. People talk about Mothman, bro. If there was a Mosquito Man, the army's on top of that shit. The Stranger! Okay, this one's a lesser known one. The Stranger is relatively new and mysterious creature made by the horror artist Trevor Henderson. Okay, we got a new one. The only reason I wanted to read that for this one is because I don't know of this one. The Stranger depicts an unusual humanoid figure with a large and round head. Yeah, no, he kind of has like the Pops build, so I'm a little bit meh going into it. Later confirmed to possibly be a mask with pale and wrinkly skin. The skin also appears to be lightly warped and slightly pink. The creature has 2 cartoonishly large and barely aligned eyes with lone black pupils on them. Interestingly enough, the eyes appear to be completely drawn on using what appears to be paint. He also uses a pair of small, roundish ears, similar to those of a human, which also match the texture and appearance of the rest of its head. Okay, initial thoughts. It is a creature that is, like, so grotesque looking that scares away, like, humans that it's trying to hunt. So it wears on, like, a crudely made mask to fit, like, its bulbous head in order to hunt humans. That's my initial thought of the creature. The body structure of the creature observed to be rather and yet slightly curved, all of which is hidden in a long black cloak without a hood. The patron saint artwork of the creature, a thin human-like hand is seen to be coming out of its dress and waving at the camera. In this image, the creature's head also appears to be much more wrinkly, and some bits of it coming off in strands and not flattened to their facial features. Ooh, yeah, that's I don't know how I feel about that. The entirety of the face underneath is not revealed yet, but it was revealed under the mask as an extremely wrinkly, leathery, and slightly wet face with an enormous frowning mouth, accompanied by a set of many small sharp teeth attached to exposed gums, and other facial features are not revealed just yet, but what we can observe, it is presumably real mouth of a creature. Okay, I do kind of dig that. So I got the mask part right, that it's like really freaky looking. I don't like, but I don't like it in a good way, wet, leathery texture, okay? I've said it a lot, I don't like old people, I think they have leathery skin, I feel like that shit, like you got too much skin hanging off your bones, okay? It can be freaky, okay? So, I'm gonna give you a point on leathery, wet skin. Behavior. Not much is really known about the stranger, but from the caption of the first post with it, it denotes that a person was followed by this creature while they were lost in an empty discount furniture warehouse. What we can presume that it follows and possibly stalks people who get lost in empty shopping centers. Warehouse, however, the ethic and moral implications of this creature are still vague. It is unknown if it actually just follows the people who got lost or without any meaning, or it actually kills the target it stalks. Let me just tell you something. I used to work at a Walmart. Some of y'all that have been watching me for like a while now probably know that. Let me tell you something, bro. I have stories for days from Walmart. I lost faith in humanity after working for Walmart for a year. I'll be 100% honest with you. I wasn't always this jaded giga chad of a man. No. It was working at Walmart that made me lose faith in old people. I lost all faith in that generation, okay? If you have to pull up the Walmart app and be like, the Walmart app isn't working. How do I check out? And I'm like thinking to myself, it's like, ma'am, you're in the App Store. That isn't Walmart. That's the App Store! Old people, I'm sorry, when they start asking me the password to the Facebook, I'm immediately thinking to myself, we need to start resorting to purging the old people. What do you bring to... Like, I become super eugenics the moment old people start talking to me, bro. I become straight up... Get rid of the old. Immediately when they start talking too much shit. Where was I? Oh yeah, no, Walmart. We've had tons of stories of people either nearly being kidnapped. We've had stalkers. Let me just give you a quick rule of thumb. If somebody is following you for more than, I think like 5 aisles, and they haven't grabbed anything, they want you, boo. They want you, boo. Okay? They're trying to get you. You are the product, homie. Okay? And if they start making phone calls while looking at you, and they start saying shit like, yes, he's slightly overweight, but he will do. Immediately nope out of there. Go to the customer service. Everybody has it. And start saying, oh yeah, bro, they're trying to abduct me. Okay? And they'll probably put out like a code brown. Okay? Yeah. Or a code Adam. They had a bunch of codes. I'm sorry I'm giving you the whole lore on there, but the point I'm trying to say here is the moment I'm getting followed by anybody, boom, fanny pack Nerf guns coming out. I have to say that for YouTube. If you're following me and you look like that, we going. We going, boys. The second portrait of him was revealed, revealing something rather interesting about the creature, being that it's actually a patron saint. Cool. Though it was unknown if it is another entity that came from the void, as most patron saint creatures, it is also very possible that its actions are completely alien and incomprehensible, which may even imply that him himself is an alien. I like to think if I got abducted by an alien, okay, they would be abducting me for my ability to do whatever the fuck, okay? They would be like, bro, the ADHD in this one is otherworldly, okay? He's not disabled, he's just special-abled. I like to think that that's what they would say. They would probably say some shit like, yo, bro, this thing has the attention span of a fucking squirrel. What type of radioactive-ass Homo erectus human is this bullshit? It is described that the patron saint is getting lost in a sprawling department store and malls, and that those would like to stay that way. This indicates that the symbolic patron saint, presenting an odd concept of being lost in a sprawling department and shopping center, it might also have some form of negative aura around it, which further disorients people and keeps them lost in the premises. It has been confirmed to induce vertigo in people, especially near escalators. Oh, yo, I fucking hate escalators, bro. Listen, me and escalators are number one op, okay? I ain't even going. Given its nature as directly or indirectly influences people to get lost, it may be the creature similar to the man with the upside down face, which we will be covering later, but feeds off confusion rather than direct suffering. Okay. There's another artwork of the creature which hints at the possibility that the creature's cartoonist face is just a mask. We already covered that. Abilities. Let's go off abilities real quick. As previously mentioned, the creature is able to induce feelings of vertigo and other disorienting symptoms in order to confuse people into getting lost and continue being lost within large malls and stores. This may imply that it has some sort of psychic ability to directly affect its victim's mind, or that it emits some sort of negative aura. I have so much brain rot. Every time I see aura, I think of like some fucking TikTok meme, bro. I'm too far gone, man. Compared to a previously mentioned man with the upside down face, who emits negative aura. which causes things to go negatively. Okay, so he makes you confused. That's his whole shtick. I'm sorry, bro. I mean, like, here's the thing. Does it kind of help the idea that nobody's just gonna start throwing the 1s and the 2s on this thing? Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, the design's cool. I like that it only inhabits, like, department stores in order to, like, get its prey. I'm going to say B tier, right next to the highway worm. That's where I'm going to put it. I think that's a fair placement. What would I do better? I don't know why. I get like a spider type of feel to this. Imagine if it takes off its mask and it's just a fucking spider face. And then it like rips off the patron saint cloak and it's just arms and arms and arms of like an arachnid type creature. And this confusion that it's hitting you with where you're getting lost in a maze of a department store is similar to like a fly getting stuck in a web. That would be my flavor I would add to it, but I do like the confusion aspect of it. B tier. The man with the upside down face. Okay, bro. I mean, here's the thing. Good news, it has a human-esque build, so I have an idea of what's going to hurt the creature. Other than that, pretty unnerving looking. He's 5'7". What an absolute weak beta male of a man. I'm sorry for all my Sort Kings out there, boys. But, imagine having an upside-down face and still being about the size of Tom Cruise. What an L. The man with the upside-down face is an unnerving creature created by the I don't know why I always read that. Appearance. The man with the upside-down face, as his name implies, depicts an adult male with fair skin and a head turned completely upside down. He is almost always seen eerily smiling, and his eyes look downwards. Upwards from... Okay, you didn't need to add that. Or right at the camera at the top of his head, connected to his neck. He was strangely thin and bony limbs, especially his fingers. He is often seen wearing a black suit with a white button-up shirt with a visible collar. On certain instances, he could be seen wearing a black tie. His clothes may also differ from photo to photo. It can be seen wearing different outfits such as jackets, coats, and mechanic suits, among other things. So what that makes me think, before we get into it, I have a feeling he is not actually there, and he more manifests into his surroundings that you are, and he exists mostly in your mind. And he takes the form of things that you see around it. So, like, that's how... He's not actually putting on clothes. No. He's just manifesting in an outfit that makes sense. That's what I'm thinking. In the first photo, where people are surrounded by a car which had an accident, the man is seen in the middle, smiling at the event. The second photo appears to be in a similar case, except the man is inside the car, smiling directly at the photographer. The third photo appears to be of a normal photo of a marketplace in first glance, but the man is actually standing in the background. Grinning, taking a closer look at the third photo, is notable that the names on the stores in the image are in Hungarian, which may suggest that the location of the picture is Budapest, Hungary. This could mean that the man with the upside-down face resides and originates from Hungary. Though it most likely that the man is an international entity, given that it seemingly appears in different countries in later photos. He first started during the 1910s and was most prominent during the 1920s and 1960s. Where his appearance stopped, however, as there is evidence to suggest that he has stayed around at least up until the 1980s and is possibly still at large during modern day, though there are no images of him so far that can confirm this. Okay. So, I mean, you got kind of half spoiled in the creature afterwards. So he brings bad vibes. So he has the ability to bring bad omens. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Considered as one of the most evil beings that Trevor Henderson has ever made, the man with the upside-down face is almost always as near a disastrous event. Usually car crashes or other incidents involving some sort of vehicle. He has been captured in other areas during events of the Great Misery or distress, like the Millsbury Savings Bank during the Great Depression. It is believed that the man is close to possibly just as evil as the infamous cartoon cat, who is an asshole, by the way, appears to be most malevolent being. He causes and feeds upon human pain, suffering, and death without any remorse. He leeches off the suffering of his victims during his terrifying, painful events, literally and figuratively sucking the life out of them in his own twisted pleasure and satisfaction. Ooh, okay. Now we're getting me into this. We needed this in the last video. It is believed has revealed more information on the man with the upside-down face that only further supports his status as a sadistic and evil creature who loves torture. Said to be timeless and that his physical form exists only to torment humanity, this suggests that he could be some sort of being from a different dimension, or possibly even the void, who decided to manifest in a physical body in order to feed on humanity's suffering. This is further supported by Trevor stating that his body and upside-down face are just for so, and is initially meant to invoke unease, implying that the man takes on a form in order to further frighten those who merely take a photo of the incident. Okay, I do kind of like that. I'm getting like a Pennywise the Clown type of feel. Like, he could take any form that he wants, but he just wants to fuck with you. That's what I'm feeling. Those who called the man a sort of a bottom feeder, as he is drawn in tragic events, but he is not usually able to directly cause them. However, he is known to be able to cause more minor inconveniences or increase influences that may lead to upsetting disasters, such as causing the tire of a car to pop or causing an argument to become violent. Okay. So he's just he just eggs on stuff, okay? That's what he can do. That's a little bit meh. A little meh. Okay? We'll see. Man with the upside-down face is a particularly stealthy creature on account of the fact that he is completely invisible to the naked eye and requires some sort of camera or other recording device in order to be seen. I do like that, bro. Imagine taking a selfie and seeing this guy in the background. Like, that would fuck with you. And then you get into a car accident and you're like, how could this happen? And then you see Smiles McGee over here like, I did that. Yeah, no, I'd probably be pissed off too. In order to increase the chance of suffering and misery to happen, the man is able to move or disrupt certain objects, such as tires, in order to cause different possible disasters, suggesting that he may have some sort of light telekinetic abilities. He just pops tires, bro. It's not that serious. He may have some sort of negative aura surrounding him, given that the food appears to spoil around him, as well as the fact that he can influence people who make arguments and become violent without actually even being seen or heard. This supposed negative aura is so strong that it can directly physically affect people, causing them to experience convulsions and causing people to dance as if they were dancing within thin air to exhaust and completely collapse. Ooh, so I'm thinking he caused the dancing plague. That's a very interesting subject matter that I'm going to try to shoehorn into a video. But the basic gist of it is that there was a plague that they don't really know how it happened, where people just started dancing until they exhausted themselves to death. And you think to yourself, oh, it was just a few crazy people. No. People that were healthy got the dancing plague and were forced to be tied down so they would stop dancing. And they would literally dance until they died. Very interesting thing, and that's where I'm thinking they're going with this. On multiple occasions, he is able to cause groups of people to mysteriously disappear, and may imply that he's capable of killing people directly, though it's more likely that people were killed in an accident caused by the man, and their bodies were just never found. Due to this innate inhuman nature, he does not need to eat food, breathe, sleep, and cannot feel pain or remorse. He can, however, still do the former three if so desired. Okay, so he's just an asshole. That's really what I'm getting out of this. A tier. I really dig that. I really do like that. That almost S tier, actually. A plus, good, almost. The design of the Country Road Creature is just goated. That's part of the problem. But I'm gonna say A plus. I think that's valid. The Man in the Red Room. Okay, this one. I'm like 50-50 on this one, because this reads like an early creepypasta from like 2007. And yes, they had some bangers, but they also had some absolute dookie on their hands. So I'm going this one with skepticism, okay? The Man in the Red Room depicts a horrifically disfigured creature with somewhat human-like shape dangling upside down coming out of a ceiling in a heavily red-lighted room. Brangled form appears to be made of a number of meaty strands of varying thickness, which connect and intertwine with each other in order to form a body that resembles a short humanoid creature with bent legs, long arms, and numerous holes. These strands of flesh have share visual similarities with the mycelium of a fungus in a way that they are connected and positioned. Ooh, okay. So like a meaty fungus type of creature. Listen, fungus is a really weird thing, okay? Like, they're a plant, but not actually the plant. They're kind of like a plant and like an animal. That's why they have their own distinction. They're a really weird life form on this planet that we more or less are like, oh yeah, no, it's just a mushroom. Like, no, bro. They're fucking weird. Cordyceps are weird, man. They're really weird life forms. So, a meaty mushroom. I'm in. Interestingly enough, what can be assumed the creature's head is right side up, contradicting the body, bearing a slight resemblance to the man with the upside down face. He's just sewing up and fucking everything in this video. Especially when he is levitating. Another detail to point out is about his head is the lower jaw does not seem to be attached to any part of his body at all. Instead of floating on air where it would normally be, actually was attached. In the second drawing, the creatures depict seemingly the same. However, it appears they have more outstretched arms and legs as well as having grown slightly longer. Okay. I'm in. Behavior and origins. There is very little information about the creature's origins as how it can be, and only hints of its creature, the creation being an excerpt from the first image's caption, which states that he is purposely left in the room with not intention of being released. We know that the creature is fairly intelligent and very keen on escaping the Red Room, which is described by Trevor as its prison. Okay. Trevor said that it needs people for its goal, implying that it cannot physically escape by its own means, instead relying on people to free it from wherever it may be. It can only communicate to people in their dreams by making them visualize the creature. The specifics of the room it is confined to and may vary from person to person, leading repeating dreamers to believe that it has escaped the room. The part that is consistent about the room, however, is the fact that it's always covered in a deep red light and mostly empty, save for some chairs and such. Okay, so it influences people through dreams to free it from a room. Okay, and it's using it, well, maybe it's not there anymore, so you go there to open it and now it's free. I kind of like that. Summoning theory. It is possible that a person or a group of people may have summoned the creature accidentally or intentionally into the world and then not be able to get it under control, or may have been proved to be too dangerous of whatever they had planned. An abandoned warehouse would have been a perfect location for a people or a person to summon a beast using a possible ritual, as they would be able to public eye, which this theory may seem far-fetched. It is not the first time Trevor has made a story like this, as black magic appears to have a similar origin. This could be seen in a person who was brought back to life via dark magic and given supernatural abilities. Not bad. We're docking a point because now it's just dipping into like old creepypasta. Say Bloody Mary into a mirror and we summon it and it just looks like meat fungus. Okay, I'm gonna be real. That docked at a point. As far for abilities, the creature does not appear to follow the conventional laws of physics, as evident by its levitating jaw and ceiling phasing means of movement, which mean that some sort of relatively powerful supernatural force that is not enough to escape the room seemingly possible that he is trapped in. Its supernatural abilities of entering and exiting ceilings at any time will make it a incredibly stealthy and difficult escape from when it becomes a threat. Though, given that it was supposed to be permanently locked in a room, people with his first encounter, it's very possible that the malicious intents could be very dangerous. Okay, I'm gonna be real. That was dumb as fuck. That was stupid, bro. Like, that was dumb. Oh, it phases throughout ceilings. Dope. Okay. Like, you lost me at the end. You could have done some more with it. You could have done it. It actually is like a meat fungus that was summoned here. Almost like a fucking, like, hellish fungus, where it grows, like, little meat tendrils into beings, and it kind of has, like, a home nest. And it can only manifest where it has a growth. So it's trying to get people to come closer to it, so it can use their biomass almost as, like, a soil to plant, like, the meat growth. Like, you could have done so much more with it, but instead, fumbled. You fumbled a little bit. You fumbled a smidgen. C tier, bottom of C tier. You lost me at the very end, dog. I have to be a tough critic. Bottom of C tier. The found footage creature. Okay, this one, I'm interested. Appears, the VHS figure depicts a large, burly humanoid creature with a missalmon face positioned right in front of the camera. This face is completely covered in smooth, dark gray skin and has a constant socked expression. The creature, who also appears to lack any hair, the facial features are distorted and drooping in a single direction. Nothing else is seen of the creature past its neck and some of its shoulders. The face has a large mouth with wide agape and covers most of the lower half of its face. The creature also has large, dry lips, with the top being larger than the bottom. The feature of the creature almost resembles that of a pig, but structured to a human's. It also has rather small nostrils. Creature has strange, half-closed eyes, if any. The eyes are completely plunged in darkness and may actually be missing eyes or just has completely black eyes. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Do you want what this is? This is like an Ed Gein type of creature. This might even be just a normal dude. No, I say normal, but I say like a humanoid. And when it kills its victims, okay, and like they're like brutally beaten. That would explain like the bigger lip. It's like a fat lip that was stuck, and it like wears the face of its victims. That's what I think. I mean, droopy expression. It's loose. Like that's what I'm thinking, and it like. I hope it does more with this, bro. I really hope it does more. Another possible image of the creature was posted 40 days prior to the image seen in the compilation. This time, the full body of the creature is seen running towards the night vision camera, almost grabbing it. The location appears to be a strange tunnel of some kind. From what we can see, the rest of its body of this creature is still humanoid, with the correct proportions are slightly bigger. The head remains relatively the same, although it seems to be drooping from the other direction this time. The facial features may seem smaller at a first glance, but they are actually more or less the same as a previous image, but it's harder to see due to the glitzing effects. Oh, okay, so it has like a Slenderman-esque ability of causing glitzes. Okay, that's never been done before. Also, fun fact, I know people are just going to be like, oh wow, you just found that out. Did you know the whole glitzing effect came from marble hornets? Yeah. Slenderman having the ability to glitz things wasn't even in the original story. And listen, man, I would be down of reading the original Slenderman story because it is so bad. I'm sorry I'm making this... I'm going to be brutally honest here. This is more interesting than whatever this creature is. I'm not impressed by this creature. But Slenderman started out as a photo competition to make like a scary photo. And the dude who wrote the story for Slenderman only wrote it because he saw that it was winning like these competitions. So this guy who is like a photographer made a story about his creature, and it's just so bad because he never was trying to make it. And it was 9 days after Slenderman became like a creepypasta is when Marble Hornets came out. And Marble Hornets, okay, doesn't directly call it Slenderman. I believe it calls it like the operator or like the film operator, something like that. And made the lore that we recognized for the game. Yeah. So get this one more time. The picture of Slenderman is connected to a short story that nobody really remembers. The lore of Slenderman was made by Marble Hornets, and the game for Slenderman took the lore from Marble Hornets and not the actual story. Think about that. It also has surprisingly long arms and legs, able to reach 1 or 2 more feet in the average person. The limbs are also proportionally thin in a creature of this size and body structure. The hands of the monster are large but very thin, with twisted fingers and 5 digits in total. Behavior. Much of what we know about the cryptid comes from the caption in the second image. In it, the monster was caught in a videotape which shows it chasing the cameraman in an English sewer. Yeah, bro, you Englishmen got some fucked up sewers, dog. Like, y'all have to fix that, man. You got hobos who wear skins living down there. The cameraman was a member of a group called the Phantom Trackers, which is presumably a group of urban explorers. Urban explorers are so... like, they're cringe, but, like... I get it. I actually understand it, but you're gonna run into a hobo or a cartel member eventually. I'm not down for that life. It is presumed that the creature was chasing after the person wielding a camera in order to kill them and possibly eat them. This means that the creature is likely a territorial carnivore and only stalks the sewer systems, as there was no sightings of such creature beforehand. The beast not likely relies mostly on animal-like instincts rather than actual thought, as it has seemingly mindlessly chased a group within the dark sewers. The creature, being as agile as it is, likely moves and rounds and very often in the sewers to hunt for food. It would likely feed on rats and other small animals. Okay, bro, I'm gonna be real, bro. This one's just... I'm not a fan of this one. I'll be real, bro. It sounds like a good, scary story, okay? It sounds fun. But when we compare it to the bangers, bro, okay, let's look at the abilities. The abilities are the last thing that will make or break it for me. The creature's bulky build and larger than average size would allow it to easily overpower an unarmed or unprepared target. Not me, though. Despite living in a tight sewers, the creature's hunting lifestyle have allowed it to stay surprisingly fit and agile, being able to keep up and outrun average persons, making it extremely difficult to escape from. The mold that seems to be a part of it may also give it some additional ability, possibly a form of heightened regeneration of sense of touch. Really? It has a healing factor because of mold? It may also have some form of echolocation and heightened sense of smell it also uses in order to hunt. Echolocation sounds cooler, though. And smell, I mean, like, so you have to differentiate, like, the shit smell from the sewer to people. Cool. Does not appear to have any eyes. Even if it did, it still lives in a complete darkness, which would make it an excellent hunter and able to track down anyone from practically anywhere in the sewer. These senses would be further heightened by the tunnel-like design of the sewers. It would be truly difficult for a creature to escape, let alone defeat. Okay. The most interesting ability of this creature, however, is able to kill you without even being anywhere near you. What? As soon from the caption, the other image of women was somehow killed supernaturally just by viewing a tape containing the creature's face. There was no signs of violence of a struggle and how she died, but was unknown. It's possible that the VHS tape was somehow cursed, or generally viewing the creature's face through a VHS tape can kill you. The fate of the team who covered the water damage tape is also unknown and is not fully deconfirmed yet. Oh my gosh! Whoop! And it kills you if you see its face! Okay. That's dumb. That's dumb. I really don't like that, actually. D tier. Is it as bad as the Fetid King? No. But Bonesworth is better than this shit. Wow. We had a few bangers. Upside Down Face Guy was pretty good. I was a fan of that. The Stranger was pretty good. I was a fan. Damn, the VHS guy was mid. That was bad, bro. Like, if you want, like, for any aspiring filmmakers out there, like, I'm not the biggest, like, you could have just done more with it. I'm being a harsh critic, not because, like, oh, look at Trevor Henderson made that. Like, no. Trevor Henderson has Siren Head, Bridgeworms, okay? Cartoon Cat, and the Country Road Creature. Yeah, he has a bangers, but I feel like this one was like, hey, yo, can you just make a monster for this, and we're gonna have to make it take place in the sewers, and yeah, no, can you just give it, like, the power of, if you see its face, it'll kill you? Okay, thanks. And he was like, okay. And then he just drew a picture for that. Like, I'll be real. This, of all the designs, this one's probably the most mid. The Fetid King is a better design than this one. And that is it. That is the definitive tier list of the Trevor Henderson monsters. If you guys made it to this part in the video and you're not subscribed, dog, you are either my tier 1 hater who should be subscribed to continue to hate on me because this is insane engagement. Like, off the top of my head, you probably went through at least, like, 3 ads that YouTube put in. Like, bro, you watched a full feature-length film. Not just that. You watched the entirety of Avengers Endgame worth of moi. And if you're not subscribed, maybe you're the problem. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say, brother. 2 hours and 40 minutes? At the top of my head, that's how long this video was. Brother, that is an Avengers Infinity War level of either hating or actually liking my content. In that case, subscribe. If you're hating and you're this far, subscribe to continue to hate. And for everybody else, subscribe. 50K subscribers by the end of the year. That's all I gotta say. Thank you guys. And if you guys have an idea for another series that I could do, more SCP stuff, but also some lighthearted stuff. I have a few stuff down the pipeline that I think you guys are gonna like. But with all that out of the way, let me just say, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios, guys.